That's when I like to start streaming. There we go. There's Discord is specifically designed for gaming, and what it's made for is really great. Where OBS, that's the program in between the programs. I want Discord to be on Twitch or Kick or YouTube or Rumble or whatever live.
But you need broadcast software to do it.
You're exactly right.
That's where OBS is, and that's where XSplit, which I use, is. But XSplit requires an investment, and a lot of people that aren't serious enough about streaming that they're going to want to start putting money into it ahead of time. A lot of people aren't going to do that unless your intention is to get this to a monetized stream eventually. Yes, then we're going to have to. Then what you're going to want to do, and we can talk about some of this on stream because I've learned a few things from.
We're streaming now.
We are? Yeah. All right. Let me grab my cup of coffee and I will go live as well.
Okay. Sorry. Coffee.
No worries.
Coffee is the lifeblood of the worker. Here, Stella. Kitty. First, we were discussing. I made a "Don't Make Me Sing the Fun" song from SpongeBob, and then we were talking about how SpongeBob was severely underrated because Rob hasn't seen all of our episodes, so he missed the one where it occurred to me at the second child, SpongeBob is commedia dell'arte, and it really kind of is. Because it's over the course of, it's the original improv acting after the Greeks, after the Hellenistic period, when all of the original you got your coffee. Slanche.
Aye, Captain.
Slanche.
Here we
Salud. Go. Rob should be joining us quick. I already made dinner. It's awesome that it's Sesame Street Day since we constantly talk about the Muppets on this show. Jack not name, Jack job.
Okay, I am live as well.
Nice. Huzzah, here he is.
All right, I'm here. We're going to try something here.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Since what do you are live and I am here. Let's see. I need to press this. And it does that. Okay. Give me a second. I need to invite a guest. Invite a guest. Let's see.
Invitation. Okay, what's the cigar for tonight?
Tonight is La Aroma de Cuba El Jefe.
Oh.
So it is a rather large ring gauge. And it's a longer ring gauge, not necessarily a...
Almost a Churchill.
Yeah, not quite a Churchill, but it is a longer stick.
You should be getting an invite.
On
Twitch. Look at your probably your chat up in the corner.
Here we go. I see it. Yes.
Yeah. Now, when you enable that, it's going to have a camera and a mic and an audio button. You're going to want to mute all of those because we're using Discord for all of that.
That's what you were saying earlier. Okay, now that makes sense. I'm like, what? I have to, what?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh, sorry. We couldn't find the page you were looking for. What? You bastard.
That didn't sound good. That sounded expensive.
Heavy-duty lighter.
All right, let's try that again. Let's see. Invite guests. Awaiting response. It says that the invite was sent.
Why is it? Oh my.
my picture.
What?
I can see my picture. I can see your desktop.
That's not the...
Why is it not?
That picture.
Center, please.
All right, because this is what I'm showing.
Whatever you've done
Stop.
and you flash out at it, it's showing it.
Okay.
It says to me, sorry, we couldn't find the page you were looking for.
All right, I had to shut it down. I was having a technical difficulty on this end. I'm going to have to do some work before I'm going to be able to stream it on my channel.
No worries. Thank you for attempting it. I
Because
appreciate it.
what's happening is every time I tab away from Discord, it's showing my actual desktop, which I don't want it to do because there's a picture on my desktop that shouldn't be generally.
Oh, I have a lot of those. That's how we get a lot of views. Like that one right before St. Patrick. St. Valentine's Day, where I have the redhead on there. We have like over 100 views for that on YouTube. Because, well, no, it gives you the little animation when you click on, when you put your cursor on it, and
I was using a stream capture, and what I'm going to do for next time, we're live. What I'm going to do for next time is I'm going to set up an overlay and the video cams, and so we can do everything streamed properly and kind of get off of this Discord crutch, because Discord, well, it's implied in the name.
It works perfectly for gaming. It really does. But
It does. It does all right. The problem is that Discord, your bandwidth is iffy unless you have a boosted server, in which case, the times we get roboting out, that's because we're not high priority on Discord's thing because we haven't given them any monies yet.
Well,
yeah.
And so if we move away from Discord to other things, we won't have to worry about that.
In that vein, I purchased the Canon software today.
Really?
For the cameras. So, and I was testing it out. That's one of the reasons why I'm a little late. So, I have OBS. Yeah. Well, if you're not early, you're late.
True.
So, I have OBS working, reading it says that it can see the source, which is the Canon EOS software. And it does show it as what it's looking for. Now I need to make sure that that's what it's actually recording and tailor the audio for the mic that you left. And then we should have a better circumstance with regard to being able to record and capture that. I took the first video that we made, which is pretty choppy and shows OBS and everything else, but the audio is there for about 3.5 hours, maybe a little longer.
Oh, good.
So I put that all up on the Google share so you can get to it.
I can.
And then the last bit of it is up on the Google share as well. So you should have 2 videos up there on the Google share.
Because I've been checking like a meth head, and there's only been the one. Is it on? Is it on? Is it on? Like waiting for a check. Did it happen?
I put it up there this afternoon, so it may still be rendering. So for the video to be visible, it has to continue rendering. And like I said, it's like 3 hours and somewhat, 3 hours and 30 minutes, 3 hours and 50 minutes, something like that we recorded. But there's very choppy sections. I think we only got about 30 minutes at a time of video when the camera was able to keep up.
For the next session, I've got a good microphone. I had my laptop, but I didn't see the need to set it up. But I can set up my camera and microphone to my laptop as one of our sources, so that it will be kind of either pointing at me, or what I want to do, because I've got a little mini tripod, is set my camera up to where it's looking at the game mat where our miniatures and stuff are laid out, so that when we go to a fight sequence or somewhere where we're going to use the grid, turn that camera on and there's a picture. there's a guy that you should really go check out his streams. Lord Gosumba. His real name is Jay Scott. He's a streamer. He streams old school D&D in the Greyhawk campaign. He's a big fan of Greyhawk.
Really?
And
The village
his
of Hummel.
streams are in, I believe it's his game store or shop, and he uses elaborate dioramas and miniatures and stuff, and he's got the total 3D screen going.
Well, when you have your own shop, that's
yeah. Jay is amazing. Definitely somebody to check out.
Well, you guys will be very happy. Zachary called me yesterday and told me that Isabel would not stop talking about the game, how much she enjoyed it.
Yes.
And she also mentioned the same thing that Zachary had said. She asked, when are we going to play again, Dad? And he said, well, we're going to play in December. We got to wait a whole month? Well, yeah.
Yeah, she's
we'll play. So the
why not
Stitch
this
dice
weekend?
came in.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll ask.
The Stitch dice came in, and I shared the pictures with you guys. I shared them with Zach, and he's like, oh, that's really cool. You should get some for Isabel for Christmas. I said, Zachary, these are hers
for Christmas.
She's sitting ready.
I sent your 44-second video to my sister and my brother-in-law, and I said, as much as I've been pushing, let's just do it, this little family thing. This would be better. I can play with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
We could do it all together.
Thank
We
you.
could, So I haven't heard
Thank
a
you for
word
giving me
back
the
to-
heads up on that. We're gonna.
So that'll
I'm sorry,
be
I'm
good.
talking to the missus about
Talking to the boss.
Family first.
Yep.
So
We're done.
no, but that's great. And everybody's excited. Isabel's in on it. What's going to be funny is when her older sister hears about it and she can't stop talking about it, she's probably going to want to come down. Now, she may not jump in as much, but her cousin, who is my oldest grandson, he is of a similar mindset. He loves the gaming. He loves all of the fantasy stuff. He's an artist. He cut his teeth drawing his favorite characters from Naruto. So every year I bought him new sketchbooks and better artist pens and everything else, turned him loose. So he may be one that says, gee, can I play too? Of course you can.
I heard all about this from the cousin. That's awesome. No, it doesn't. It doesn't take
bad
much.
news.
Uh-oh.
Tonight I got an email just a little while ago. I have they didn't do the Scottish Rite monthly meeting, leadership meeting last week because they want it tonight. So at 6 o'clock I got to jump onto that.
Man, why do we always have to share the night with them? We specifically picked Monday so this wouldn't happen. Lousy Scots. They have a problem with Scots and Scots. Wait. Hello and welcome to the Supreme Council of the Master Geeks Lodge. My name is Bill Kelly, Hornswoggle the Great, and with me my co-hosts are...
I am Rob Marsden, Jingo the Fool, the host of the Ship of Fools and the Game Master over there, and self-styled old school Game Master. Old school. Doesn't get a lot older than this. It's pretty old.
And I am Rob the Blacksmith, sitting chimney, and Grandpa who's getting his grandchildren hooked on Dungeons and Dragons, which is better than hooked on phonics because they actually have to learn how to spell correctly.
And math.
Yeah. Have to do the maths.
We can't disclose all of the things we're going to teach them, otherwise they won't want to play.
That's true.
Yes, they will.
I was amazed how into it she was. That she didn't get bored, and we didn't hear, can we go home? There was none of that. She was ready to roll her dice.
She came up to me.
I was remarkable that when it wasn't her turn, when it was somebody else's turn, she sat there quietly.
And listened.
She
listened and listened
she paid
to what was
attention,
going
but
on. Yes.
she came up to me after about the first hour, and she real mousy came up to me and she says, Papa, I don't understand this. I have some questions. And that's when I piped up. I said, sweetheart, you can ask any questions you want. That's what we're all here for. Feel free just to say it. And then she started talking. And she was, at that point, she was hooked. Now I'm accepted.
And I always, whenever people call out, I try to take things in order. And, when she spoke first, I made sure everybody else was quiet while she had her turn. And if somebody else spoke first, I told her, you wait. And then I make sure I come back.
She was very
I don't want anybody sitting at the table to feel like they're being ignored. As a game master, you're an entertainer. You have invited people into your world for a day to provide it's mutual entertainment. So not only are you entertaining other people, you have to pull them in because what they're doing is part of the entertainment as well.
I would agree. Well, the best part is I have a question. Well, fire away. There's like 4 dungeon masters here. They can't wait to explain it to you.
Yes, please ask questions.
Please ask questions. I love to talk about D&D.
Because we're still learning the game, I'm always willing to stop what we're doing to clarify a rule. What? Oh, you got a power? We haven't used that power before. Let's look it up and see what it says.
No, I
get used to that. Look it up and see what it says.
I gave them 2, my Beth and Chip and Willow. Willow is 11. That's why it's like, oh, this would be perfect. There's another 11-year-old girl who, is into the same kind of stuff, and they play video games. This will be great. But she wanted to be a tabaxi druid, and I want to turn into animals. Okay, you want to be a wild shape. So I gave it to Beth, and Beth was forced to play D&D when I was little because, she's my little... You're not going anywhere. Read this. Learn about you should be an elven princess, So Beth kind of remembers hearing about the stuff, but for the most part, it was just an excuse to hang out with my friends, and, which, let's be real, all of my friends are Beth's friends. My whole life, Beth has more friends than me because she has all of her friends, and then all of my friends are her friends. That's the beauty of being the youngest sibling. But
sometimes it's just like that. I'm the oldest in mine.
Oh, okay. Chip, who is the middle kid in his family, and the only boy, he and I have a lot in common. He's talking about being a dwarf. I don't know what the class is going to be yet, but they've actually looked at the books. I'm impressed. So I hope so.
We looked at the actual Castles and Crusades books?
No, I've been laying a breadcrumb trail through the forest of Dungeons and Dragons now with them for the better part of about 3 years. And teaching Willow pieces of it so she gets more and more excited. And I kept telling her, when you're 10, we're going to play. When you're 10, well, now she's 11.
We might have to
do a kid campaign.
I was going to say, let's kick most of the old guys out and just run on with the kids.
I have to say that not only did she not was apprehensive of any of us, but she made sure to hug everybody on her way out when she left. So she really did enjoy herself. And of course,
she now has friends, and she knows that she has friends that are Papa's friends.
Yes.
So now she feels very comfortable, and now she knows that she has got a horde of her own. That should anything happen, Lord help those on the other side.
Yeah. I don't have grandkids yet. Not that I'm pressuring to have them, but that Willow is about as close as I'm going to get, so I'm totally taking advantage of that. So I gave her, the 4th edition Player's Handbook? I gave them 2 copies of that I got off eBay. It was a vicious...
I loved 4th edition. A lot of people hated it, but we won't go into edition wars here. It was very much not like any other version of D&D.
I remember what you said
it was
about
a
it,
lot of fun.
but I'm still old school with second. By the time I figured out THACO, all of a sudden here's third edition. By the time I was beginning to figure out the feats, here's 3.5, here's 4, here's 5, here's whoa. Give us another planet, not another edition. I don't give a crap about another edition. I haven't learned the rules yet to take advantage. You're already coming up with new rules. Whoa, bureaucrats, stop.
That's why I jumped back on the retro game, because there aren't a lot of rules. There's basically the basic of the way the rules are is you roll a d20. You add your attribute bonus.
Yeah.
You add your level. If you're going against somebody, you subtract their level or the difficulty level of the trap, which is usually equal to the party level, so it balances out. And you roll a die. And pretty much the whole game works like that.
Yeah, I agree with you, because your average NPCs that the DM is controlling, only the important ones should have extra luck and abilities and items. But, like, for instance, when we started playing Shadowrun, Ray Grace told us, because he was the one that introduced me to it, and all the books I have is because of him. But he's like, the rules state that when you use your karma pool die, you can only use them one time and they are gone forever. Whereas the good karma, you can use it, it refreshes every round. He said, I don't like that rule, because for one, your karma pool is kind of your level, because every 10 karma pool, you get 1 karma point? No, I'm sorry, that's backwards. Every 10 karma points, you get 1 karma pool. But your karma pool are supposed to be used as dice, and they're supposed to be a one-shot deal. And he's like, I don't like that rule, because it takes away a little bit of your being better than all of the other NPCs.
Yeah, you're only better until you use it up. So maybe what I might have done in that situation is like, all right, it uses up the dice, but they reset at the beginning of a game session.
Ooh, that one's good too. I like that.
Because there's a game I play called Savage Worlds, and it is nuts. One of the things they have is what they call a Benny, or a benefit, which is represented by a poker chip. Everybody, all the players, get 3 to start, unless you have something special that gets you more or gets you less. The game master also gets 1 Benny for each of the players in the game. What you can do with the Benny is use it to re-roll an attack roll, re-roll a skill check or a resistance check or an attribute check, or basically any kind of check you can think of. You can re-roll. You can also use it to soak damage if you're hurt.
I like this idea.
And you get 3. Now, during the course of the game, there are ways to earn more. Among them is if your character has hindrances. If you role play to your hindrances, or just role play in general, or the game master may award a Benny. Me personally, in my Savage Worlds game, a good pun gets you a Benny every time.
Oh,
I like the idea of mulligan. That's a great. I think that's a great idea for any game, as long as it's not abused. Mulligan points makes it more fun.
Yeah.
Because like we've all done when we were playing online, and the first time, and we're going through us. My dice suck. Okay, change your color and roll again.
I remember that. Yeah.
Another thing these bennies can be used for is to change the circumstances or environment. For instance, a good example from a movie that could have been a Benny moment is in Young Frankenstein, when they're hunched down there and he says it could be worse. It could be raining.
And then it started raining.
It started raining. A Benny can be used like, wow, it would be, we could be much better off if it was raining. And so the player can say, all right, I'm going to spend a Benny and say that it starts to rain. And the game has final arbitration. whether or not
It's going to
that's
rain.
true, or you know,
That's pretty awesome.
little
Yeah.
things like that. So you can, with the game master's permission, alter certain circumstances. It's like, oh, did we remember to grab the whatchamacallit when we were there? It's like, usually my thing will be, I don't know. Did you? And wait for the players to catch on. Wait for one of the players to cash in one of their chips.
And they go,
Because that's
oh,
what a Benny is.
crap. Okay, give him the chip. Jesus.
Another thing that makes the game different is you don't roll dice for initiative. You deal a round of cards.
Okay.
High card. Yeah.
High card, low card.
And if a player character gets a joker, everybody gets an extra Benny. If a monster gets a joker, the game master gets an extra Benny.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
That was something I have to mention, you guys.
Uh-oh.
Rob, when you let Isabel basically have 4 NPCs as her entourage,
That's
that
just the way
was-
it played out.
well, but I mean, you know,
Yes.
other
was-
DMs
yeah, it
would
was-
have wanted to control those NPCs or roll for them or something. You gave her that control, and that
I
was,
was
the
going to make
greatest thing in
somebody
the world.
control them.
She
I could-
loved the fact that
I controlled 4
she
grown
now
men.
had she had an army and she was ready to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome too. Well, I mean, she's 11. She has no concept that you're 11, but you have to remember your character's like 150 years old. You don't even like leave the elven city you're raised in until you're what, 70, 75? Don't they stay like close
Yeah.
to the parents for the first almost 100 years? So it's like, you know, you're kind of like
Well-
you, but
One thing we haven't done yet, and this is, you know, Rob, your character, the knight, he has a birthright mount, which means you're going to have a heavy war horse that is smarter and faster than every other heavy war horse. She has a divine mount, which means this is a war horse that's probably smarter than half the party, and may not even be a horse. I'm thinking of maybe giving her something that flies.
a Chiron.
That would be she would just be beside herself. What I'm waiting for next,
It's a
Probably a
hippogriff.
hippogriff.
well, she loves
Griffins are too
the,
powerful.
she
Pegasi are
loved
too
your
powerful.
figurine. She loved the minis. So I'm waiting for her to start getting in on the minis, because then that's going to be so much fun. Because she's
Teach her
going to
to
want to
paint.
create her
Teach
character.
her to paint.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Whether she might be good at it. Teach her to paint.
Girls are usually better at painting than, well, it depends on
One
the
of the things
individual.
that we
I have
do-
a friend, Christine. She can speed paint better than most people can bench paint.
yeah.
She is that good at miniatures.
Every year I have all the grandkids come here to make ornaments. So we buy, I buy ornament kits, or my mom will buy ornament kits, and they're all ornaments that the kids get to paint. So since I've been in the house, every year we've done that. And so I'm getting more and more of the kids' ornaments. And each year you can see how they're progressing, getting better and better. And so she loves to do the arts and crafts, things like that. So I'm looking forward to it. I want to go see if I can find some of the larger scale pieces to give her a little easier time painting on them, and then start working her down to the smaller minis that she
Stella.
on mats.
Maybe look into anime models. They're slightly larger figures, and is she into anime at all? Do you know?
Not as much. She has watched some of it, the Americanized
Wait,
stuff. So
wait.
they've watched things like One Piece. They've watched Naruto, things like that.
Wait a
Not
minute.
so much the genuine anime.
Don't you have a 3D printer?
My 3D printer, I had to upgrade one of the motherboards. I still have to get everything configured, so it's not working as
Okay.
I wanted.
Well, after you get that off the sky's the limit. Here, Cliff, Chip and Willow made me this gnome. I don't know if you can really see it, and several other things. They've gone crazy with their 3D printer, but there are a bunch of miniature CAD.
Yeah. Well, that's what I figured is if I could get some decent, if I can get some decent files, I can upscale the files too. So if it comes as a, as a small 2 centimeter piece, I can
very
upscale
simple project. What I've seen people do is they will just print the flat plastic discs and then print out a sheet with monster images on adhesive paper and put the monster images on the little discs.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier than miniatures are tricky. You have to have a pretty good printer to print minis and have them look decent. And I don't know I don't know much about the hobby. It is something that, I'm not handy enough to be messing with such things.
Well, we lost Paul, and at the peak he had 3 3D printers going, and he had a piece of conduit stretched across one of the cubicles in his office, and it was all spools of the wire that goes into the back of the 3D printer that makes it was like.
Yes, I know people that do the 3D printing, but
I bought the little naked sorcerer girl, and I bought a couple of other random ones that were individuals, but for the most part, these guys also will print out a whole bunch of like goblins, and here's like light green goblins. Here's a pack of like 20 of them. You have to paint them all on your own, which would be great.
I don't have the eyesight or the patience to paint miniatures.
But the 11-year-old.
That's right, because when she gets in trouble,
excuse me,
and they take away her phone, they won't be taking away her paints and her miniatures. So she goes there to paint minis, and I'll be waiting for the day when my son calls up or my daughter-in-law to say that she has become Montgomery Scott. Because now she's minis. Oh.
Discord is Discord.
Discord is digitizing you. You may need to do your phone trick again, Rob.
Yes.
You may need to do your phone trick again, Rob. We got less than half of that discussion you just gave. You're waiting for the time where her parents say, and then it started digitizing.
I'm waiting for the point where her parents call me and she's become Montgomery Scott, where she looks forward to getting in trouble so she has time to paint her minis because they took away her phone.
What happened? I shot another kid in the ass because I needed 6 months to get this night perfect. I wanted him to be perfect.
That would be my daughter.
Kids. And Zach, the best is Ed said it on the way home right when we left your house. We had 3 generations of gamers there today. Holy crap, you're right.
I'm going to say that if there was anybody there that was older than me, I would guess maybe Ed was.
Oh,
but I don't know.
Ed's Ed's 79.
Okay, yeah. That's what I figured. He's I am the big 6-0.
Ed's got all of us beat.
And he picked up on. I kind of felt bad that he had brought a character with, but it was a 5e character. It's like, all right, that absolutely won't work. But
I told him to wait.
Well, the fact that he had the foresight and was able to figure out the, because it looked like he used D&D Beyond to do it, which is a great tool for 5e.
Oh yeah,
and 5e is it's a great version of D&D. It kind of is the culmination of all the different shit WotC and TSR tried. They kind of cherry picked it all into the 2014
streamlined
D&D.
it.
And 2025, all they did was update it, but I think they went a little too far in updating it. They tried to homogenize it and take some of the, the edginess out of D&D, which, is disappointing to me.
Yeah, good luck with that. You know there's demons and devils in this thing, right? And bards.
Well, in the second edition D&D, they tried that, and they tried to do it in second edition D&D by renaming the demons and devils with other names, and it's still the same monster.
Yeah, it's not gonna.
The Type 6 demon is still the giant guy with the flaming sword and the flaming whip and the giant fangs and the wings, and he's 9 feet tall and covered in fire. What did Tolkien describe the Balrog as?
Respect it.
Smoke and shadow, or shadow and flame.
Shadow and flame. It's
Shadow
interesting
and
that you're
flame.
talking about that too, because I was watching. Oh, here, I'm almost done with it. I'm like halfway. There is another channel called Daddy Rolled a One, and he's actually quite informative and entertaining. And he talks about how D&D had to change the name of the Type 6 demon from the Balrog to the Baelor because the Tolkien family... Because the Tolkien family can't copyright orc or elf. They can do hobbit, which is why they're called halflings.
Which, they're called halflings now. I believe in the early iterations they were not.
They were called hobbits, and then Tolkien threatened TSR to sue the shit out of them. Which, dude, you can't work together, but it is the way it is. It's the same scenario how TSR lost the rights to the Warriors of Barshum because the Burroughs family didn't like everything that was going on with the way they set up the game.
Now, it is widely thought that they lost the rights to do the Cthulhu mythos in the first edition Advanced D&D Deities and Demigods book. However, they had set up and had full permission to use that when they published the book. But at the same time, Chaosium came up with their, Call of Cthulhu game, and rather than slog it out in a lengthy court battle, TSR just gave up the rights to that. Now, the reason the book was republished was the Lankmar mythology. They didn't have permission to use that. Fritz Lieber said, no.
That's beautiful.
You got to pay a bitch.
Yeah, now you owe me.
You got to pay a bitch.
Which I have been using that Lankmar setup with that cityscape and map since it came out. Because I remember buying that and being like, I did not know who Fafard and the Grey Mouser were at all, or any of the story. I still have never read any of the books. I've only pieced it together by watching YouTube videos. But the map in D&D, that was priceless. Because what'd that come out? 91? 92?
I don't remember. But
yeah, it's interesting how D&D changes over the years. Also, for the days of the year, it's Sesame Street Day. Wore the shirt Beth gave me and everything. We talk about the Muppets all the time.
Shirts. I have 2 Muppet shirts, but neither one of them are Sesame Street.
Oh. Well, I don't know.
They're both Electric Mayhem t-shirts.
I have an Electric Mayhem too. The Electric Mayhem.
I have 2.
I love that. Oh, it's the Uncle Sam's Messed Up Children, or You Still Miss Christmas, United States Marine Corps birthday, not birthday, sorry. It's
buy crayons for your local Marine.
What's that?
Buy crayons for your local Marine.
I was told that Marine stands for My Ass Rides in Navy Equipment.
It's also World Science Day for Peace and Development. The opposite of
how's that working?
World domination. National Vanilla Cupcake Day. Yes. And also World Top-Up Day.
Interesting.
Supporting family back home can be tough. Talking resilience, work hard, and love to bridge the distance. So I guess that's distance for. I think this might be a British.
The top up to me only means,
Here,
it's
fill
like,
my glass up. Yeah.
No,
Do you want some more
it's
coffee?
more of it's a racing term. When you come in for a pit stop, you top up your fuel.
Okay. That too. Tomorrow, the 11th, is, well, as we know, that it's Veterans Day tomorrow, isn't it?
It is.
It is.
I actually have it off.
Yeah, congratulations. And, you and Ed are our resident veterans. Singles Day.
Rob, are you not a veteran as well?
I am a first responder. I was the first generation in my family since before there was a United States that couldn't serve. I was 6'2", 280 pounds, and even the Marines said, "No, you're too big for a peacetime Marine." I said, "Okay." They said, "Go see the fire department." Aye, aye.
Go see the fire department. Oh,
Hey, again, that's a job that I couldn't do. Go into a burning building to save people I don't know. That takes a lot of fortitude. So that's like the police. That's a job I don't want to have to do. So much respect to the police and the fire and the first responders out there.
I couldn't handle a lot of the stories that you tell where, like you said, where someone grabs your whole hand and begs you, "Don't let me die."
Yeah, I don't want to know any of
And
it.
if I lost them, yeah. So I can only imagine what you're carrying around. And, well, this is getting kind of dark. Sorry. But yes, tomorrow is Veterans Day. And wasn't there already a First Responder Day? Didn't they have? Wasn't that a couple episodes back? This is episode 47. Like and subscribe.
I think there was a First Responders Day, but it's not something that I've ever really... It's not something that ever has been popped up to me, so we'll put it that way.
I don't remember. I might be grasping at straws. But tomorrow is National Singles Day. Yeah. National Sunday Day. National World Origami Day. And National Metal Day. So, yeah. Tomorrow's
Right.
hardcore.
Me, I'm so metal with my Beatles T-shirt.
Hey, the Beatles are kind of metal. Hey,
If it
Wild.
wasn't for the Beatles, there probably wouldn't be metal.
I'm glad you brought this up.
And-
Okay,
and
hold
a
on.
lot of other things.
Okay. So when Pink Floyd first comes out, now they're not metal, but they are an influence on every single band during and after them. Same thing with...
Very early Pink Floyd was not at all like later
It was
Pink Floyd.
very Sid driven and Grimble
Very
Grumble
avant-garde
and
artsy rock kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, the Pink Floyd experience. Come and get high, and you won't even have to take a toke if you listen to the music closely enough.
Yeah. Whereas the Doors are actually more of kind of like the grandfathers of metal. Now, they're not the only ones, because you have like the Zombies and even the Animals, where they have these Steppenwolf. These bands have a heavier sound. Iron Butterfly, even Canned Heat has a heavier. Deep
Purple
Well, they
came out in '68. They predated Sabbath by a year, and they were pretty heavy when they came out.
Because Sabbath is the very next step, and then after Sabbath, you've got
Sabbath is
Elf,
where
Rainbow,
it was
Ronnie
officially
James.
recognized as a. Well, I don't know. Elf was more of a boogie rock
Like
along
Kiss.
the lines of. No, almost more like
Oh, my
the
spine.
James Gang and
I love the James Gang.
the Eagles and such.
Just walk away.
Elf was not anything like what
Like
Ronnie James
did, like,
without
holy
it.
dive.
Hell, you
Yeah.
want to get a blast from the past, go onto YouTube and do Ronnie and the Prophets. It was his doo-wop group from the early
Yeah,
60s.
it's totally different from it's like Parliament and P-Funkadelic George Clinton. It's like, whoa, you went from like never mind.
Yeah, and that led to all kinds of outrageous. I mean, you had people who were really stretching the boundary. You had who would have ever thought that Lemmy Kilmister
Are you serious?
and
right now?
Motorhead would have made it the way they were? Here's a guy that had a voice at his age that sounded like he'd been smoking cigarettes for 60 years and chasing them
Ace
with
of
5
Base!
bottles of
Yeah.
Jack Daniels every day.
Well,
And
because
yet
then
he's
you
got
had,
a tone
I
in
heard
his voice that people couldn't resist.
I heard stories about Lemmy. I heard one that Slash told on an interview one time where he and Duff McKagan, both of Guns N' Roses, went over to Lemmy's house to party one day, and Lemmy said, "Would you like some Jack Daniels?" And they were like, "Yeah." So Lemmy goes to the liquor cabinet and turns around, and he comes out with a bottle of Jack Daniels and screws the lid off of it and hands it to Slash. And Slash takes a sip off of it and goes to hand it back to Lemmy. And Lemmy's coming out of the liquor cabinet with 2 more bottles of Jack Daniels and hands one to Duff.
Yep.
This is having some Jack Daniels with Lemmy. You get your own bottle.
That was years afterwards when he started playing.
Yeah.
When they first came out, his voice sounded like that gravel train, that 40 miles of bad road in a hurricane.
A little bit because he's got a few songs where he can actually sing when he really wants.
Oh yeah,
he can't sing great. He'd never be a great singer, but
you've got this
he
weird
fit the music.
You've got this weird span of time where the Doors and the Who are making
The Who are very hard during that time.
Yeah, and Zeppelin
but
was
then
filling in
The
a
Who
lot of
inspired
oddities.
Led Zeppelin.
Zeppelin comes in later because you're still dealing with like Screaming Jay Hawkins and Arthur Brown and what's the other guy, the Jet Black Machine, the dude that did a whole bunch of acid and lost his mind. Then he became a pilot, or he died.
Which one? Peter Green?
No. Crap. We talked about him. Same thing happened to Sid from Pink Floyd.
Oh, Sid Barrett from Pink Floyd,
where he did way too much acid.
That poor guy. He held on for a long time. He was probably the longest impact on the band.
Yeah.
After he could no longer function, he still impacted that band until the day he died. Even Roger Waters was still writing songs about the relationship. David Gilmour would call upon him consistently for a lot of the things that he did throughout the years, and probably still does call on some of those memories and those ideas and the same things that they all learned working with Sid, but watching poor Sid just devolve.
It's a shame. Well, okay. I don't want to get into this, but with the system in place, it kind of pushes a lot of artists beyond their, like Elvis, drugs to wake up, drugs to have a great show, drugs to go to bed. Dude, he didn't take a dump for 4 months before he died. His large intestine was so impacted.
Yeah.
I mean, Elvis died, and all the doctors are like, surprised he went this long. Oh man, because he just had this extreme lifestyle. Same thing with Duff. Same thing with Slash. Same thing with Motley Crue. The song "Kickstart My Heart" is based on the EMT.
I have another Lemmy story that has to do with Motley Crue.
Uh-oh.
I believe it was Nikki Sixx was getting involved in heroin.
Well, it wasn't Mick Mars. We know that.
Yes.
Heroin,
And,
get the fuck out of my room.
Before a show, Lemmy came across him messing with it, and Lemmy told him, he's like, "Look, at some point you're going to have to make a decision. It's either that or your music." And then Lemmy walked out, and he's like, "That night I quit." And so this is my argument for why Lemmy is God.
Yeah, it's hard to...
Lemmy was a voice for all of the things that he did, for all of the experiences he had, and all the tales that everyone has has been able to, all the firsthand tales that everyone has heard about Lemmy Kilmister and his time. He was genuinely a voice of reason for so many, because he would, just as you said, he would come in and he'd go, dude,
can I go one
from
step?
the voice of experience, don't do that.
Yeah, I want to go esoterically one step further. In comparison, not in similarity, but in comparison, I would say that Lemmy, and obviously not in lifestyle, Lemmy is popular in a pop culture kind of aspect and a metal kind of aspect for England, the way that Henry Rollins is for America, where he has transcended into the dude is a musician, the dude is a spoken whatever the hell he's talking about. The dude transcends to, and it's nothing to us now because it was over 40 years ago, but Lemmy was in the Young Ones with Madness and a couple of the other popular English groups because they were trying to put, popular bands into the show. So they were always in there as thugs or ruffians or whatever, as long as having a video in there. But, and Lemmy is in our culture to the aspect of, before we started recording tonight for episode 47, Rob and I were in a deep discussion about how SpongeBob is likened to Commedia dell'arte, episode 14, if you want to watch it on the show, because I can't stop talking about that because I've been watching SpongeBob for 20 fucking years. Anyway, so...
My favorite
rabbit hole I'd gladly go down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But Lemmy, they're playing Eat the Rich in the SpongeBob movie when they go to the tough bar just before Patrick and SpongeBob start playing with the bubbles in the bathroom.
My favorite crossover with Lemmy and Motorhead was the Drew Carey show when Mimi Bobek, the character, had...
Good morning, pig! I love Mimi.
He had them come over to apologize to Drew for something Mimi had done. So Drew says, you need to apologize. And the next thing you know, the power chords get hit, and here is Lemmy singing, I'm so sorry, Drew, with full concert speakers in the background. The house is rocking, and Drew gets knocked out of his chair, and he walks outside, and there's everybody, and she's singing, I'm sorry, Drew. And when they wrap up, he says, there, was that so hard?
Yeah. Lemmy is one of the few artists that can transcend all genres, like Henry Rollins can. And they're not the only ones. Bowie is the same. It's just that he doesn't fit into this calculation.
Rollins is more...
Michael Jackson.
Rollins is more of a philosopher. He was able to... I shouldn't say that.
Rollins,
Lemmy was an incredible philosopher. He was not as articulate as Rollins has become. I'll put it that way. Lemmy could go on and tell you things.
Liver.
Yeah.
Well, Rob is, again... there you go. He's more like Adam Ant, where
he's a straight edge.
There's no drugs or alcohol involved. There's a lot of artists out there, and when you're a teenager, you're like, "Wow, man, that's so square." But as an adult, you're like, "I respect that. I don't know how you do it, but
all right, gentlemen.
Oh no,
I'm going to have to step away.
Okay.
I appreciate it. If I can get back, I will get back.
I hope so.
And if I don't make it back, I will give my closing statement that I always do. All right, kids, be good. If you can't be good, don't get caught.
Any plugs? We haven't plugged Body and Soul candles for Lauren in a while, and now Christmas is coming up. And
there you go.
Once again, I'm out of money, so I can't buy
The only plug I'm going to make is for those local to the Phoenix area or to Arizona, central and northern Arizona. St. Mary's Food Bank. We're coming up. We're in Thanksgiving time frame. If you can, help out. You don't have to give money. You don't have to give canned food. If you can provide a little bit of time, they can always use your assistance. That's what I'm going to be doing next Tuesday. I will be taking the day to spend the day helping them out, do what they do best. So with that, my brothers, I thank you again for including my granddaughter. She had a wonderful time, and I'm looking forward to a long, long time of her becoming a very popular young lady among geeks culture.
Oh, she was so
good,
funny.
because I'm going to teach her how to be the game master.
Hey, there you go.
There we go. You're going to teach her how to be the game master. I'm going to teach her which end of the knife goes into the boys that are not being appropriate.
There you go. Why aren't you listening? Ah! My hand.
Take care, gentlemen.
Have a good one. That's the one I rolled dice with. No, back to what I was saying. SpongeBob is Peroquino, Harlequin. Sandy is Isabella. Larry the Lobster is El Capitano. He's really impressive. He looks awesome. He has all these public displays of amazing, ostentatious wonderfulness, but you never really see him do anything. And when there's a problem, you can't find him. Like I said, Pantaloon, they split into Squidward and Mr. Krabs to soften him up for children. Patrick is an amalgam of all of the idiot friends that hang around SpongeBob, would hang around SpongeBob. So the only two characters that are missing from Classic Commedia dell'arte and SpongeBob are the lovers. But you don't really need those in children's cartoons. Nah, it takes away the focus of the shenanigans, which the shenanigans are the main focus of.
They kind of make Sandy Squirrel his girlfriend, sort of.
But she's exactly like Isabella. She does all the real work. She saves the day. She's the one that's super awesome, and they always give credit to someone else and disrespect her. And she's standing there going, "Hey, wait, I'm the one that, Steve." It's, yeah.
Yeah, it was a good cartoon. I think SpongeBob gave a rise to. After that, there were a lot of other cartoons that just tried to be weird for the sake of being weird.
Yeah.
And missed the fact that SpongeBob had some really biting humor behind it.
It really did.
So there are a lot of cartoons out there now that I think are just, a little too silly for me. SpongeBob, really pushed it. It's like, here's something that is completely bizarre. At the time it came out,
yeah.
They weren't, the weirdest we had got was Ren and Stimpy, which is like,
what is it, man? Ren,
it was
will
like
you tell
Ren
me a
and
bedtime story? Read you a bedtime story. Read it yourself.
Yeah, it was,
you started
yes,
that.
Ren and Stimpy was low rent Tom and Jerry for adults. It was the same tropes, only they were willing to push it a little bit further.
I don't know. In the house of next Tuesday, the surface of the earth will be the consistency of warm giblet gravy. I love Ren and Stimpy. No, I like episodes of Ren.
Yeah, it never really clicked with me. But at the time Ren and Stimpy was on, I had very young children, and
that's not
a job that wouldn't allow me to really watch it. So wasn't really exposed much to Ren and Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy is
seen all the classic Beavis and Butthead, and I'm disappointed now because what made Beavis and Butthead entertaining was them sitting there riffing on all the videos that they're not allowed to play now because they don't have the licensing.
Yeah, we were talking about that on one of the episodes where I forced Hannah, my oldest, to watch it, and she's like, "Eh." I'm like, "What do you mean, eh? What about this? And when they do that wasn't in it. What? This video, that wasn't in it." And then I went on Netflix and watched it, and because of copyrights, all gone. It's like, dude, that's half of the beauty of, which is weird in a sense, but they're still trying to bring it back, and now they're adults, which that really doesn't work. It's funny when they're losers as teenagers because all people look back at themselves and go, "God, I was such a loser. I was such an embarrassment." But I learned to become better. Showing them as losers as adults just kind of, it's that line from what you call it, the Wedding Singer, when they're talking about, do you know why Happy Days was canceled? Because Fonzie hit 50 and nobody wants to see a 50-year-old guy hitting on chicks. And that's the equivalent to Beavis and Butthead, where it's like, dude, I don't want to see them as adult losers. I want to believe that eventually they became something, you know, that they look back on being 14 and going, oh my God, like it's like when you meet a younger classman or somebody who was much younger than you and you're an adult and they're like, I'm sorry. It's like, dude, I was an embarrassment at 12 too. Don't worry about it.
No, Beavis and Butthead don't ever need to grow up. It's kind of like The Simpsons. They're locked in a...
Yeah.
They're locked in where they're locked in. It's like... And it doesn't really need to make sense. It's The Simpsons. It's a freaking cartoon. Why does it need to make sense?
It doesn't. Okay. Oh my God. So, yeah. Okay. Working at Wendy's. Got to pay the bills. Now, well, this is our world now. 40 years ago, ew, you worked there. Now in 2025, you work there? Are they hiring? Is your boss hiring? Do you have your boss's email? Can I send my resume?
I have much respect for anybody that gets up on a regular basis at whatever time of day and goes out to do whatever it is they need to do. You know,
Get there 5:30 and cook bacon and chili and clean the fucking drive-through and By the time I'm bored, it's time to go home. I need something to do for 15 minutes because that's the problem with low-paying jobs is you have so much to do. It's like, I'm really not getting paid what I'm worth. But on the other hand, I don't have time to sit and think and bitch about it because all the work's done. I can go home now. And that, like I was saying last week, wash all the dishes because that's still... They don't even try to wash dishes now. They back off and they're like, okay, because I'm like, ah! You know.
You know how to bust some suds.
Oh, yeah. That, and they've started, like, bringing in outside food and giving... Like, the woman that hates me gave me gum the other day, and so I'm in. I don't get asked weird questions anymore, and it's fine. Oh, you forgot to do this. Hey, I did all these other things, and I helped you do that, so they don't really... And then I told my boss, I know my pressure washer was working. I'm sure it'll still work. Both the tires are flat, though. But I told her, I'm like, my boss, the one from Kazakhstan, I'm just going to go in there and clean the whole place because I spend like an hour and a half scrubbing this place, and it only looks a little better. You really need to, like, pressure wash it and, you know, like Thompson's water seal it. Yeah.
Now, is yours corporate or a franchise?
I think it's corporate. Because DMs come by, and all these people I have no idea come by and tell me how great it is that I'm there. Is it because I'm the only one that doesn't speak Spanish? Is that what?
Probably.
Yeah. And there was this other old guy, and hey, every time I'm like, and he kept telling me, these kids, they don't want to work. Well, it's about the payment scale. When I was at the Dairy Queen, Arnie and Susan are paying them $20 an hour. You don't have to ask these kids to do anything. They're looking for things to do because they want to stay.
Oh, fabulous.
Whereas these kids are making $15.82 an hour. And they have triple the items on the menu. Well, it kind of varies. Because you have to know how to make each Frosty or each, you know, you've probably eaten a peanut butter parfait, but have you ever made one? And the hardest part of Dairy Queen was day one, was when they put you in front of the machine and they say, you need to learn how to make balls. And you figure, no problem, this is going to be easy. No. Unless you've worked at like McDonald's or a place where they serve cones.
Oh, the lady with the dogs.
And you're familiar with it.
Yeah, she's very
It's
once
it's a finesse.
helped a guy run a snow cone stand during an event. You'd think it's easy just to get that nice round perfect snow cone.
You are correct, sir. Luckily, you get to eat all your mistakes, but after a while, you're like, oh, I don't want to. Okay, we'll just throw it away. I feel bad about that, but oh my God, please, no more. Now I just walk over to the frosty machine in my coffee. It's working. They keep laughing at me. So, I'm outside. I'm scrubbing. Here comes my boss. She's from Kazakhstan. Lena is great.
Okay. Keep going. Okay,
Remember the episode of The Simpsons with the grease and the shovel racket? My retirement grease! Where they go to the school and they steal all the grease. Somebody literally stole. It looks like a hot water, or it looks like a water
I know
heater.
what it is.
Okay, only
I
it's
know
like
I know what the grease tank is. Yeah.
somebody came by in the middle of the night and emptied it in a truck that looks like the truck that normally comes, but it wasn't the normal truck. So when the normal truck came, the dude's like, "It's empty." What do you mean it's empty? It's empty. Somebody stole. How many gallons of grease is
All
that?
that beef fat and
Probably-
the bacon fat.
Yeah,
And
all that stuff.
Yeah.
All the fryer grease is,
Yeah.
all of it. Because every
I don't wanna
morning
know.
I have to clean out the fryer, which is a grape nuts nightmare. The one guy's like, "Oh, I just want to eat it." I'm like, I kind of want to poison somebody with this stuff because
Okay.
it's all basically like breading that's fallen off nuggets
yes.
and potatoes and it's breading. It's just breading, and it's oil. It's thick, amber colored, wheat colored oil,
He did.
and it's all in the bottom reservoir of the of this tank. I have to scoop that out and put it in a trash bag and throw it away. Hey, it doesn't pay much, but it's honest work.
Hey, pays the bills.
Yeah.
I tell people I work for two reasons. One, when I was a kid, my parents gave me food once, and I've had to do it every day since. The other one is sleeping outdoors is not an option.
No, I got too much stuff and pets. I think working in kitchens from 15 and a half on helps because you don't have to tell me what to do next unless it's something that I've never, ever done before. I know when you put something in the oven, it's going to have to come out. I know stuff's going to have to be washed. Like I have to stir the chili. I have to stir the chili.
Closest I came to that is mess hall duty and basic training.
It's still kitchen work. It's still what?
It is.
KP
Scrubbing
kitchen. Yeah.
Scrubbing pots and pans mostly.
The best part is that it's a universal tool. So if you work in any kitchen, whether it's a fast food place or a cafe or an upscale kitchen, you understand, you have a level, to put it in DM terms, you have a level 1 understanding of how the kitchen works. You know that there's stations, the different thing, the dishwasher isn't going to be over in the saucier area he's just going to be back there washing the dishes. That's his job. That's all he does for 8 hours, and then he goes home. Usually he works in tandem with the cooks. Sometimes they get along. A small percentage they don't, and there's fun and excitement, and all kinds of stuff can happen.
Yes.
But for the most part, you kind of know, okay, things have to be stocked. They have to be rotated. FIFO, first in, first out. You have to. So it's easy to kind of pick it up. The problem is that fast food it's in the name. It's fast pace. It's go, 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 go. You got to be ready. You got to stay out of the way. You're constantly bumping into people. So all the time I'm stirring the chili, and I keep telling all the English speakers, anybody will tell you, whether they're a professional chef or whether they're an at-home entrepreneur, the secret of chili is stirring. It's not stew. It's not a soup. You can't just let it sit. You have to constantly stir it. You have to constantly stir chili. So they think I'm insane, but time to lean is time to clean or stir chili. So that's what I keep. Yeah. I used to run call centers. Now I cut up bacon in the morning and cook it for hundreds of people. Sheets and sheets of bacon.
I can only imagine.
I can't help myself anymore. I started eating it. It's a month and a half. I only have so much willpower. You don't understand. This is like
Bacon. You know, one time my well, he's not my supervisor now, but the guy at work is one of the supervisors. His son came back from visiting grandparents, and in the airport he had seen bacon flavored gum. And so
really.
James, my boss, brought it to work and said, "My son said it's nasty. Is anybody brave enough to try it?" I'm like, "Me, I'll try it."
I will try the bacon.
Okay. One thing I can say is that, you know, bacon is, you have bacon, there's what I call the total bacon experience. You've got the smell of it, the taste of it, the texture of it on your tongue, you know. Chewy bacon, crispy bacon is all acceptable bacon to the bacon connoisseur. And, you know,
Yes.
so fake bacon never delivers the total bacon experience. At best, like turkey bacon, you might get the crispness right, but the taste is wrong, or things like that.
Yeah.
But this gum fulfilled none of the total bacon experience because it did not taste like bacon at all. It tasted like a tire fire.
Oh, gross.
And after I spit it out, for at least 4 hours afterward, there was a taste in my mouth that was reminiscent of elastic bandages. It tasted like I was chewing on Band-Aids. It was. This is where I learned there are no substitutes for things. Either you have the thing or you don't have it.
Yeah.
You don't try to find this. It's like sugar. I'm not supposed to have sugar, but I've tried several different sugar substitutes, and none of them do it. So if I can't have sugar, I just will have it unsweetened, because none of the other things, all or nothing, none of the other things are going to scratch that sugar itch.
Do you want diabetes or cancer? Those are your two choices now. Diabetes. All right.
I already have one.
There you go. I agree with you completely, because there are some now. I'm still eating too much bacon, and especially at this place. And then I was having a breakfast baconator like every morning until, well, yeah. But
yeah, no, I couldn't. It starts to.
Well, Christine made me dead. She's like, you eat too much bacon on the weekend, and you eat too much bacon. Like, well, bacon is delicious. What do you want? You need to switch to turkey bacon.
No.
She was adamant, and years of my life, and
just need to do without the bacon, or just use it. Get it in moderation.
Moderation.
You know, every once in a while, I'll have bacon on a hamburger or something.
Yeah, moderation.
But,
no, fuck moderation. So turkey bacon became a staple, and after a while,
it's not bad.
It's not bad. There's worse. The gum sounds like the other end of this bacon spectrum, from like cured maple bacon.
I don't really care for maple bacon and maple sausage. I don't think maple enhances the taste of other things. I'm not a big fan of maple, period.
No, really? No?
It makes good whiskey.
Okay, yeah. You don't like it on pancakes? You prefer honey or berries or something?
I prefer that
chocolate,
cheap artificial pancake syrup that probably doesn't
corn,
even really have food in it.
Corn syrup?
Yeah.
It's corn
syrup.
Like
Log Cabin. I'm actually probably got Kroger brand buttery.
We had to take away Land O'Lakes and Uncle Ben and Aunt Jemima, and that's oh God, don't get me started on that. Well, no, I started anyway. And all of the good, that's why Canadian syrup is their one export besides comedy and Rush. I love Canada. Don't get me wrong.
And poutine.
Yes.
Have you ever had poutine?
No, I've never had it, but I've seen pictures of it and heard about it.
All right, it's basically French fries with fried cheese curds, which is like the Canadian version of mozzarella sticks, only they're smaller and lumpy.
It's very good.
And then brown gravy on that.
I'm down for that.
That's poutine.
Yeah, I've never had it, but I totally want to have this experience. There are a lot of foods that really go well together, and then there are a lot of foods that are 3 a.m. marijuana-induced nightmares, and they should be avoided from henceforth.
That might hear me out.
But most of the time, it's a home run.
I experiment at home with cooking, and my loving wife is rather tolerant of my cooking experiments because more often than not they come out good. Every once in a while it's like, babe, no. I can always tell when she doesn't like something that I make, because she'll take a bite of it and go, that's interesting. I even called her on that. It's like this is your passive aggressive way of saying you don't like it. That's interesting.
Fair enough.
Just tell me you don't like it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, But I've made a few experimental dishes that some have come out really good.
Yeah.
I want to make the Bachelor 101 cookbook. Here's 10 recipes that take you less than 30 minutes to make that will impress the shit out of a woman that you can cook.
Yeah. They're moving out in 4 days, and I asked Christine 3 years ago, I'm like, if you're going to move in, there's one dish that I really want you to make, and she hasn't made it yet in the years that they've been here, and that's her Impossible Cheeseburger Pie. And it is really good, and hopefully I can get her to make it before she moves out. And now that it's cooling down, because that's hours in an oven, and that's a whole to do. But I don't think it's going to happen. I'll just have to make it myself and stop being lazy. And we'll add bacon. So yes, bacon. Peanut butter is the glue of foods, but bacon's pretty much the platinum of the currency of food.
Bacon is like aftermarket auto parts. Bacon makes everything else better.
Yeah. It's like free.
They add bacon to other foods to make them better. It's the same with onions. Onions are the secret ingredient that makes everything taste good.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like onions, all the things you like probably have onions in them.
They have a smidgen of onions in them to just kick that flavor up a little
Even
more.
if it's just onion powder and not actual onions.
Or the dehydrated, diced. I use those a lot. I go through a lot of those little containers.
We go through the big containers of them. Yes. That and spicy. In my old age, I'm not supposed to have sugar. I'm not supposed to have salt. I'm not supposed to have red meat. I'm not supposed to have fat. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
All that I've got left is spicy, so bring on the spicy.
There we go.
And lately, Coffee, my wife, has been on this Korean kick, K-pop and other Korean things. And so
kimchi.
We've been, well, not kimchi, because kimchi has horseradish in it. She's allergic to horseradish. So she can't have kimchi. But the spicy Korean ramens, there's this brand called Buldak, Buldak. Here's an unofficial plug for Buldak Ramen.
Not a sponsor, but it's okay if they want to be.
Not a sponsor, but it's okay if they want to be.
There you go.
Your local Asian markets will have it.
Really?
The spice is intense.
Really? Now we're talking.
Yes.
Hold on.
Fact,
I don't want ghost pepper, which I've had.
No,
okay.
I don't like ghost pepper either. These are actually not that spicy compared to some of the other stuff. But the Buldak ramen is intensely spicy.
I had tried ghost pepper. What were they? Something that I did a 3-month stint as a temp at Discount Tire. Actually has a fleet department. So if you've got like a plumbing company and you have like 6 vans, but you don't want to spend a day taking each van, having one of your employees take each van and sitting all day at a discount tire. They have a thing where, hey, we have a van and we'll bring out the specific tires that you need, and we'll show up at like 4 a.m. at your, shop and do it all and then leave. So one of the guys said, oh, I got these ghost pepper. They were like corn pops or that. I can't remember what it was.
The little corn balls?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Those things are
and
deadly.
I said, I'm very curious because I've never tried the ghost pepper, but everybody flips out online, so I want to try it. And everybody was groaning, and it was too hot. It was add extra creamer to your coffee to take. The tingling sensation was great, but the burning sensation was too much.
Yeah,
and that's why all those people scream and freak out because they don't know. Dude, milk, leche, what are you doing?
Serrano peppers are about as hot as I can get. Serranos are pretty hot. They're hotter than jalapeno.
Or habaneros.
They're hotter than habaneros as well. Yeah. I don't like habaneros because they have a bitter taste to me that I just can't get around.
They're better in food or like on chips than
I've had salsa with habanero in it that was really good, but just straight up habaneros, something about my body chemistry makes them taste bitter. But I put serranos in my quesadillas and stuff, and serranos will light you up. I usually will take this little evil bastard pepper, one in a whole recipe, and it's still pretty spicy.
Hannah found some person who will sell you pounds of hatch chilies that are barbecued and deliver them to your doorstep. Because she got several pounds of them, and I got like 2 or 3 pounds of the hot, spicy ones. I was putting them in everything. Oh my God, they were amazing, but now they're gone and I don't have any more. But I'll have to find out that information and put it online.
90% of what I cook starts with peppers and onions in a pan.
Well, it's the equivalent of finding the tamale lady at work or the woman who knows the tamale lady at work.
This year, I have been living in this spot for 17 years, and this is the first year I have not seen the tamale lady come around.
The tamale lady is very important to culture. Oh my God!
Yeah, I have a friend who's in D.C. I game online with him, and I was talking about the tamale lady. He's like, "What's a tamale?" I'm like, "Dude, he's from Boston and he lives in D.C., so he's not going to have any." I'm sure he knows about some things that I have no clue about, but he had no idea what a tamale was. It's like, I can't explain it to you. It's heaven in a corn husk.
It's heaven and cornmeal all wrapped up in together with, well, what do you want? Pork, beef, chicken, cheese.
Pork. Sometimes it comes in a banana leaf and not a corn husk.
It depends. I don't prefer the Baja ones where they use the green banana leaf and the whiter, and it's a little, there's olives in it. And
I don't like the way the masa comes out. It's a little bit too slick for me.
It's still good. I will still eat a bag of them for $20, $25. But I prefer the tradition, like Sonoran, Central Mexican, yellow cornmeal, yellow corn husks, and there's spices and all kinds of stuff in there. And somebody's abuela was up at 3 a.m. with the pressure cooker and those tamales are because I miss
the door-to-door tamale lady tamales. Are just amazing.
Paul got me a job at the tire company with the D's that he worked for, and the D's Travis and Larry and Ron and all of the family. I worked for them for a year. They were great. The only reason I left is because I got a better job. But I was doing internet sales for them, and I learned a lot about tires. But what I really learned is the secret is, and if I win the lottery, you set up a couple of these ladies. These women probably start cooking.
I heard it.
Probably cooking at like 2:30 in the morning. So
it's labor intensive. That's why when they make them, they make so damn many. If we're gonna set up and we're gonna go, long.
We're gonna go all crazy. So all of a sudden, it's about 11, 11:30, 10, 10:30, and this like a Lincoln Town car, white, with tinted windows, very nice, in very good condition, all
I wish I was
detailed.
T-shirt.
Pulls into the tire yard. This is a 7-acre tire yard. It's
Oh,
just
no.
stacks and stacks of tires as far as you can see.
What?
It's funny. Today is Andreas's birthday. So Andreas, and Julio and Jonathan all start, well, not Julio so much because his wife sometimes works in the office. And he was like the oldest one and the most mature. But the other two younger ones start hooping and hollering. So this car pulls in. They pull up to the area where they take care of all the tires and where the money happens in the main area. And all of a sudden, these two tiny, beautiful women jump out, and they're young. And they all start talking in Spanish, which they're going way too fast for me to translate. But these women come almost every day. They pull up to the place. The two of them jump out. They pop the trunk up. They've got a converter. They've got a spider. And plugged into that are several crock pots. And you pay $5 if you don't want to drink. And I think $6 or $7 if you want to drink. And you get a plate of food and a drink and, napkins and a fork or a spoon, whatever it is. Most of the time, it's Hispanic fare, like mole or pick something that's really easy to make. But a lot of the time, which, I didn't have to make it and I didn't have to go anywhere. It's macaroni with like a mayonnaise sauce with vegetables and cut up hot dogs. And it's warm, but dude, what the fuck is this?
There's not a long list of things that I won't eat, but I can only eat a hot dog if it has failed a trial by fire.
I like hot dogs. I had them for breakfast today.
And I'm a
And
hypocrite because I don't like hot dogs, but I'll chow down on a bratwurst, which is just a coarse ground hot dog.
Hold on, bratwurst are hot dogs from a better upper class neighborhood. You boil them in beer before you fry them. It's another standard of living for a bratwurst.
No, hot dogs are lips and assholes.
They are what they are. They're a sustaining food to get you through lunch. Don't think about what you're eating. Just chew on it and move forward. Same thing with ground beef. Uh-oh.
Gotta eat to eat. But right now, I can afford to not eat hot dogs. But we have hot dogs sometimes because my wife likes them. I'll eat a Polish dog. Something about the texture of a regular hot dog just isn't for me.
I like those fancy $8 hot dogs that are over by the macaroni and the, made stuff that have like cheddar cheese in them and jalapenos. And
there are brand of hot dogs I like. Boar's Head actually makes kosher hot dogs.
Boar's Head makes everything great.
But they make a natural skin hot dog that is actually pretty good. But they're expensive and they're hard to find. Because they're sold in the deli case, not in the hot dog section.
Yeah. Hot dogs are all right. I don't ever crave. I mean, I crave burgers more than I crave hot dogs. It's more like, hey, do you want a hot dog? Yeah, all right.
It's Mexican food. I'd eat Mexican food every night if I could.
Okay, I do crave chimichangas on a regular basis. I just can't afford Filiberto's number 17 anymore. It's because it's like $18 now, and that's out of my price range. Or Roliberto's, all of the Obertos, they're all good. They're all good.
I am spoiled. Live in a college town, and so there are so many mom and pop joints around here that serve great food. We have a restaurant that has been in Tempe in one form or another for almost 100 years called Casa Reynoso, and everything they serve is either They make red chili beef and green chili pork, and
Ooh, green chili pork, please.
most of their dishes are based on one of those two things. They have this appetizer called a Joanne Special. That's basically it's a corn tortilla with cheddar cheese and green chili pork on top of it.
Oh my God! I've already eaten dinner. You're making me hungry again. That sounds divine. That sounds like Chino Bandino level deliciousness. But what's another good one in Tempe? I passed it. No, because I went over to help out Quinn because he hurt his hip.
There's
And
another good one over at Hardy
McClintock and
and
Apache. The
McClintock
tavern.
and Apache.
There's a tavern at McClintock and Apache that still exists, and it's been there since like the 60s. And it's this little tiny. Used to go there with. I went there a couple times with Tim Richards too before he moved to Washington. Great food, really good food. And hot waitresses always make great food even better. So it's adding the modifier from your attribute. This is already amazing. Yay! More points? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I am spoiled to live in a place where I could eat something different every day of the year if I could afford to eat out every day of the year.
I wouldn't. Eating out should. Eating out once a week would be nice. I'm at the unless somebody buys it for me or takes me there. I'm at the once a month capacity right now. But one restaurant that I only was at one time, but I absolutely miss was Ed DeBevick's, and I don't even know if you had a chance to.
I know it. We never did go. I remember all through my childhood they advertise it. We never did go.
It was a really silly place, and I think restaurants like that need to come back because it was just goofball. It was like the Mo, where he comes out, hey, and he's got the fries on his head, and there's like tambourine and singing and jumping up on the counter, and they had the world's smallest sundae for 25 cents, and it was this little tiny pewter thing. Like something you'd use as a statue, as a miniature, if you were playing. Like, oh, just pretend this is a statue. And they would put a little tiny scoop of vanilla ice cream on it and a tiny little bit of hot fudge. And that was your 25-cent. It was like a shot glass of ice cream and fudge. Thank you! But the food was good. I went there, and there were all waitresses, and all of them had horn-rimmed glasses and the poodle skirts, and every single one of them was nasty and had an attitude, and they were all bitches. And there was one waiter there, and he was like kind of like the supervisor, and he had big horn-rimmed glasses, and he was running around like this, and his name tag was Skippy, and he had a bullwhip on his belt, and anytime anybody got out of line, he would threaten that he was going to take he never did, but he was going to threaten, I'll take the bullwhip off and I'll whip you. You won't like it, And that was the whole shtick, It was funny. It was it was one of those, like, the way Rawhide used to be when you went to the steakhouse. It was a fun, atmosphere.
Kind of dinner theater.
Yes. Without dinner theater,
there was a dinner theater up in Scottsdale for a while, and I don't know if they're still in operation. It was called Meal and a Murder, where they would do a 3-act murder mystery and serve a meal, and it was always you could tell that it was very improvisational and very zany, over the top. Nice. And we went 3 different times. And every time they have things where they pull people from the audience, every time I got pulled from the audience, and I think it was because of my big hair.
Mm. They singled you out.
I was somebody. They singled me out. Yes. And so, yeah.
That's awesome. No, It was it was a fun, like, I'd never been to Bobby McGee's. But I remember working and all the adults talking about how much fun it was. And you always, when I was working at a gas station, and especially in Scottsdale, the waiters would come before and after to the restaurant, and they would always be dressed up in costume. And it's like, were you at a party? Oh, no, I'm a waiter at Bobby McGee's. I'm a vampire tonight. I'm Dracula. Oh, they dress up in costume? Oh, yeah, everybody does. So I think that's, it's another thing that's gone. Bobby McGee's was famous because they had these mugs that were in the shape of toilets that had Bobby McGee's written. It was like a white mug.
I remember. I think
written
my
in green
mom had
cursive.
one of those.
And if you ordered a certain drink, you got to keep the mug. And so many old business guys had those on their on the shelves in their offices.
Speaking of drinks where you get to keep the mug, I think my ex got my cha-cha mug from the original Macayo's downtown.
Yeah.
You get the margarita. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Still there?
Yeah.
Still open?
No, it's not. It closed several years ago. It closed over 10 years ago. It's long gone.
I'm so behind on current event. Is
Georgian
Dragon still there? Who knows?
I believe the Georgian Dragon is still there.
Love the place. Got to go back there. Oh, speaking of which, let's give the big fellas are Paul's brother Timmy and Jerica.
Absolutely.
Their band is playing at was it 55th Avenue in Northern? Hold on, this will be easy. Just grab Jerica's profile. Yeah. Hoopers, 5114 West Northern Avenue, Glendale, Saturday, November 15th, 8 p.m. Not a.m., 8 p.m. Don't come there in the morning. Mountain Time in Glendale, Arizona. It's right next to Phoenix. It's just west. Glendale's kind of creepy.
Phoenix Light.
Yeah. It's Phoenix with farms and ranches and a really creepy old beet factory that's pretty... Well, the locals say it's haunted. They turned part of it into a winery, a restaurant with a wine tasting, and I don't know anything about wine tasting. Sorry, I don't know anything about wine. I focused on growing weed. Much more bang for your buck. I will have to repost. I'll post it on mine, and then I'll repost it on. That's the problem. We always, that was a great show. Oh, I made 8 things that I should repost. What was the first one?
What I need to do is start, I am surprised that the clip button isn't up there. Making clips.
Oh, you already liked it. You already liked it as this other profile. So what? I got lots of profiles. Lots of people have lots of profiles. Leave me alone. Stop judging me. Okay. So, there it is. On. Probably yours, mine, and ours. There you go. Yes. Oh, don't fall asleep on me now. I thought you were drinking coffee.
No. I'm drinking coffee.
Okay.
No, I can't. Need more.
I'm really hoping that I'd like to get my kids, and, if Christine wants to join, because she joined the Shadowrun thing, it's just that I kind of failed it. That one's all my fault. I failed on that.
My only worry is that we get so many people in the game that there's not enough time to go around and people start to get bored. I think we are close to the max that we're going to want for this game. Yeah. And I would, if we're going to add somebody else, I would prefer to add a child to the mix.
Honestly, I think we should start another game.
The only thing is that we'd have to find another time and place to do it. Not necessarily another place, but another time. Right now, the one Saturday a month is, really kind of what I want to commit. because I just like to keep my days open in case me and the wife want to go out and do something.
Understandable.
And so what I think needs to happen, and is somebody else needs to say, "Hey, I'll game master a game." Get somebody else to step up.
Ed has been wanting to DM for years now, and Paul was vehemently opposed to it. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Why aren't you encouraging him? So I keep encouraging Ed, and Paul was like, no, you haven't done it. You got to play all the characters that, dude, he will.
No. You don't. All you have to have is a willingness to do it. I started game mastering in high school with Star Frontiers, and that
Yes.
I had never really game mastered D&D. I bought Star Frontiers because I got into D&D at the time. I wasn't so much into fantasy as I was into science fiction, and I got into D&D hoping that something like Star Wars
that Expedition to the Barrier Peaks was going to happen.
Star Frontiers was closer to Star Wars than Traveler was, Traveler was like a military sim with spaceships.
Yeah, Traveler, the way they talk about it, it's more like Star Trek than it is like Star Wars.
It's not even more like Star Trek. I'd say Traveler. Firefly is a perfect example of a Traveler campaign.
I want to play it because I've never. There's never been an opportunity. I should say it that way.
I've had bad experiences with Traveler. I had a great time with Star Frontiers because there weren't a lot of rules to it, and so we just ran with it, and that's where I learned to be a game master. Then when I got in the Army, about a month after I got there and joined in with a group that was already there gaming, when the other game master decided that, when he got ready to go back to the United States, he showed up on my doorstep with a milk crate full of books and said, "You're the game master now." And so I've been the game master ever since. And I kind of have a natural affinity for it.
I had so much stuff, so much. You play as a kid, you play as a teenager. After high school, you either keep playing or people have lives. They all go their separate ways.
I never stopped.
Well,
I was one of those that...
I want to play, but I'm going into the Navy. Here's all my stuff. I want to play. I'm going into the Army. Here's all my stuff. So then Hobby Bench isn't Hobby Bench anymore. 20% off, 40% off, 50% off, 60% off, 80% off. I could practically open my own store now because everybody just kept giving me all their dice and all their books and all their games. And that a couple years ago, I sat down and, well, hold on, let's go back further. Many years ago, I sat down, and it's great to have him in your game as a reference. I gave Chris Newton all of the White Wolf stuff that I had acquired. That was all of the stuff that I bought, all of the stuff that Ray had dabbled in it because he was curious, but never ever bought a lot of the stuff. But then when Jason Barth goes, "I'm going to the Marines. I won't need role-playing stuff. You can have all my White Wolf stuff." Oh my God, I wish I hadn't given that to you. All we do in California is play fucking werewolf and vampire, and because they're at what, Pendleton, or
yeah, we were in
races.
the Army. We were playing D&D. The game master that was there before me had started a Dragonlance campaign, which I had interest in. I had no interest in continuing it, so I did my own homebrew thing. And then after having done that for a while, somebody else came in, and he was a Champions player, which is, I don't know if you're familiar with Champions. Superhero role-playing game. And so we kind of branched out into that. And
nice. I need to get some books on that. I've never played it. I have both of the Marvel Superheroes box sets from TSR, but
see, the problem with that is that was a role-playing game that was designed for you to step into the shoes of an established Marvel character.
Be Spider-Man.
It really didn't allow for you to make your own characters. The whole point of that was you could be the Hulk, you could be Iron Man, you could be Spider-Man, you could be the X-Men.
Which I'd rather do Champions, where no, I want to make my own hero, villain,
No.
whatever. And I
The
don't want to be
only problem with Champions is it was a lot of people that come from a D&D mindset where you've got a character class and you roll for your attributes and you roll for this, and you roll for that and see what you can be. Champions, you don't roll for anything. Here's a big stack of points. Here's all the things you can spend the points on. Build something.
Yeah.
And it had a steep learning curve. So the last Champions game I ran, what I would do is I'd have people, you write me up a description of who your character is and what you want them to do, or you tell me verbally.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to let you look at the rule book, and then I'm going to build your character for you.
Yeah. Wait, and you can build a character in the Marvel TSR universe, but you're a brand new character.
They kind of feel empty.
Well, you're going up against the Shocker and the Green Goblin and, Bullseye, New York's finest villains. That Daredevil. You're going to get your ass kicked.
Yeah, it doesn't really work because there was, it was good for what it was. Now there's a new Marvel role-playing game out there that I've not experienced, but for my money, there are Champions. I love Champions, but it's one of those steep learning curve games. If you're going to get into it, everybody really needs to kind of understand to really build the character you want.
Is it percentile dice or 20-sided?
No. Champions only uses D6s.
Oh, okay. Like Shadowrun?
And they use no, not like Shadowrun, similar but not the same. Most rolls are it's based on 3d6 and the bell curve. You roll 3d6 and 11 is typically a success unmodified.
Gotcha.
Higher roll if it's kind of hard to explain it without actually having the stuff here to show it to you.
And there's probably the stats.
Everything was the stats. There were like 14 different stats. 8 of them were fixed stats, and 6 of them were derived from the first 8. And then you could spend points into each of your stats, and different stats did different things. Like your dexterity, which determined how fast and often you moved in combat and how good you were at combat, was a lot more expensive than strength, which, determined how much you could lift and how hard you could hit.
Yeah. It's the difference of Shadowrun where in the beginning, when you've been playing for a month and you get to roll, let's say you've put all of your points and all of your focused energy into building the tree of being like a marksman or really good with pistols. So you get to roll 8 dice and you're all excited as to playing 5 years later. And now for that same skill, you're rolling like 38 6-sided dice. And
no, Champions never gets that out of hand.
Yeah.
But
Shadowrun does.
It's a unique system. It's not like, I think that the hero system, which Champions is based on, is the best skill-based role-playing system out there.
Really?
But like I said, it's got too steep a learning curve. So now I've really latched on to Savage Worlds, which is
that's the villains one on your Thursday night game.
That is the villain ones, and there are so many other genre books out there for it, as well as the basic book is genre neutral, so it has enough information in the base book that you could make up anything with it. And then of course they offer science fiction book and a horror book and a fantasy book and a superhero book to for if you want to run those genre of games. And even their superhero stuff, which is Champions was the ultimate in that there were so many different powers and modifiers and ways to tweak it that you could build exactly what you were after,
Mhm.
but you had to really understand the game to do that. Savage Worlds, on the other hand, is relatively simple. It'll handle most things that you want to make, but some of the more complex things are going to be difficult to do.
Gotcha. So you could build like a Doctor Doom, or you could build
Dr. Doom.
like Hydro Man.
Yeah.
I was just giving two examples.
But superhero role play is a lot different from running fantasy. Fantasy role playing games follow a certain trope, that
you're in the
kind
tavern.
Of expect them to. No, you're a group of adventurers. You're out in the world. You're looking for treasure, looking for adventure, and in a superhero game, it's not the same thing. You're not out wandering the world looking for dungeons to plunder. You don't, when in a superhero game, things that you do in a D&D game wouldn't go over well in a superhero game. In a D&D game, when you get the enemies down, you go through and you put a sword to each one to make sure he's dead.
It's the same.
Superheroes don't do that kind of shit.
Yeah.
A beatdown is a beatdown. You beat down the villain and maybe he goes to jail to break out and come back, or he makes some sort of miraculous escape. But permanent death of characters in the comic books, that's not a thing. It's not. Yeah.
It's frowned upon with the code and everything. I would agree, and I would go one step further, because depending on in Star Wars, you have a very broad occupation. If you're not doing a campaign for the Jedi, or doing a campaign for the Empire, or doing a campaign for the Republic, if you're just a bounty hunter, you're pretty much on your own accord. If you're playing Star Frontiers, we usually had it set up that the Pan-Galactic Mining Corporation was like, here are your mission orders. Go to this planet, like Voltornis is usually what you started off with, where top secret, report to your, superior officers if you're doing an intelligence or assassination or an evacuation or whatever you're doing, depending on the mission. It's more James Bond kind of setup, which that was a percentile as well. Where Gamma World, Star Wars, Shadowrun's different because you're playing criminals. I mean, you're literally criminals.
Well, Star Wars, if you treat it properly, Star Wars, it's not really science fiction. It's not. It's
science fantasy.
It's space opera. It's space opera. It's science fantasy, but it's space opera.
Star Trek is science fiction.
Star Trek is science fiction, where even if the science is gobbledygook, they intend to present it as though it was legitimate science. Whereas Star Wars, we're not going to bother to explain how anything works.
It's a jump drive, light speed, sublight.
But there are some universal truths you need to accept about the Star Wars universe. Mankind, in whatever form, has been traveling the stars for 50,000 years in the Star Wars universe. 50,000 years.
You're about to get really deep. Go ahead.
Yes. Two things are universal truth. By now, they have solved the power equation. Power is no longer a thing. Droids don't need to recharge. Vehicles don't need to refuel, really. Power is just given because they have solved the power equation to the point where it's not a problem anymore. Your most podunk outlying settlements on Tatooine still have unlimited power. 2, they've solved the memory equation. So I believe the droid, especially R2-D2, has a quantum level of memory that, there's effectively no cap to how much knowledge he could hold.
Which will be called glitches in the game.
Yes. And these are universal truths about how the Star Wars universe works. There is and will never be new technology. All the technology that could be discovered has been. Every once in a while, somebody will come along with a new and more powerful configuration of existing technology, the Death Star. But it's not new technology. It's just regular technology ramped up to a massive scale.
Just reinventing the mousetrap.
Yep. And so,
Star Wars and Shadowrun, and probably Champions to a certain extent, are really fun games, but only if you're a Jedi, there's no ceiling. If you're a caster in Shadowrun, there's no ceiling. Everybody else has a ceiling because you have to decide in Shadowrun in the very beginning, and usually in the beginning of playing Star Wars, you have to roll percentile dice to see if you have the Force or not, and that kind of like, that kind of like predetermines the rest of your character creation.
Fantasy Flight Games, about 10 years or so ago now, maybe a little bit longer, came out with a series of Star Wars role-playing games that were amazing. They came out with 3 books. The first one was called Edge of the Empire, and it dealt with your bounty hunters and your smugglers, and, there were no Jedi. There was no rebellion. Was just... And then the second book was Age of Rebellion, where it was specifically geared towards you are playing a rebel agent during the rebellion, and you are fighting against the Empire.
Yeah.
And there are a few Force sensitives, but again, there are no Jedi. The third of the 3 books that they came out with was called Force and Destiny. And each of these is meant to stand alone as a role-playing game, even though they use the same things. Force and Destiny gave you 6 different kinds of Jedi and was intended for an all-Jedi game. So if you're going to run a Star Wars game, if you're going to have Jedi, they all have to be Jedi, because the Jedi do ramp the power up to the point where everybody else is an also-ran.
Because, if you have just
it's kind of like playing a Lord of the Rings role-playing game. If you're not Frodo and Sam taking the ring to Mordor, everything else is just ancillary.
Yeah. If you're not a Jedi in a Star Wars campaign, and you're like one or two of we'll guard the ship, we'll guard the entrance and the exit, because you can't compete with the Jedi if you're just a normal. I mean, some characters can to a degree, but after a while,
characters in here they get powerful and cool things, but really even the game acknowledged the fact that you can't really mix Jedi and non-Jedi. That's why they presented the third book of the role-playing game as here's enough different kind of Jedi that everybody can play a Jedi and not be the same kind.
I've got the 4th edition Shadowrun main core book and the 5th edition, and I've started to read the 3rd and the 4th, not the 5th. And then the 6th. If you're a hermetic mage, like a street mage or a combat mage, or if you're a shamanic mage, like a street shaman or a tribal shaman, you're like a Jedi. After you get to a certain level, and then you initiate. And when you initiate in Shadowrun, you can either self-initiate, which is like powering up, like a Goku, powering up 2 levels above where you're at, Super Saiyan. Or if you can initiate in a group, okay, you and I and Rob are all casters. I'm a gargoyle shaman, and you're a street mage, and Rob is a combat mage. But when we initiate, I have access to all your spells, you have access to all my spells, and now we're all with not over long distances, but we have receptive telepathy with each other within.
So we can draw on each other's powers.
Yes. All the strengths, all the weaknesses. Yep.
That's interesting.
And
I played one game of Shadowrun that only lasted 3 sessions, and I didn't get very far. I want to say I was like a hedge wizard. I was somebody who was a natural untaught wizard. I forget what it was called.
Okay. Did you have a totem or an elemental?
I don't remember having either. I just had a natural affinity to be able to manipulate magic. And true mages didn't like me because of...
Were you...
I wasn't... I said I don't know what it was called. This was a while ago. And
did the word adept
I don't think I was an adept. I was more akin to in 5e. The best I can relate is your three main spellcasters in 5th edition D&D are your wizard, your sorcerer, and your warlock. The difference is a wizard is a scholar who, through many years of study, poring over old tomes, maybe apprenticed to another wizard, has unlocked the secrets of magic.
The arcane arts.
A warlock is somebody who traded a little piece of their soul for the power of a god or another being. Um, sold your soul to the devil, so to speak.
Or
A sorcerer
yeah.
is somebody that has some sort of lineage, like maybe they had an ancestor that was a dragon, or, maybe they had an ancestor that was a fairy or something. And the sorcerer is somebody who is basically gifted with natural magic that can do it without training and without having to trade their soul for power.
Yep.
Usually it's limited to the more blasty and spontaneous magics. You can't do some of the fantastic utility shit that a wizard can do. And, warlocks have access to unique things that their gods give them. But
Yeah.
a sorcerer is more like the loose cannon.
Yes.
And so my character would have fit into the sorcerer. I had a natural magic affinity without any training and could do certain magic things. I think actually what it was I could use magic to manipulate the web and to manipulate machines. And that's what made me different. I don't know which version of Shadowrun we were playing, so I can't tell you.
Excuse me, sorry. And then again, you had a DM that was tweaking that because, it's your world. Do what you want.
Yes.
I'm not here to tell you you're wrong. I'd rather play and have your DM.
I have a rule. I have some philosophies to follow on that. First and foremost, if you're having fun, you're not doing it wrong. Second, there is no such thing as a bad rule set, only bad game masters. If I could make Star Frontiers work for 3 years, and it was a horrible game when you go back and look at it now.
Yeah.
You can make any game work if you're just dedicated to making it work.
There's a lot of holes in Star Frontiers, and they were trying to copy a little bit, but not too much off of Traveler because that's all there was. But they did okay for 1985,
82, 83, 82. Yeah. And, I somewhere I still have a bunch of handwritten notes for filling in where the rules didn't cover. I don't remember any of it, but
it's a good setup, really. You've got 5 races, 4 of them get along, 1 of them's an asshole. Then you get out to, Zebulon's star. Now here's all these new races. And then the problem is that they just redid them and then everybody lost their... Oh, you're making black dwarves and that... It's a space game. Make them white. Who gives a shit? It doesn't really matter. It's not real.
It's a fantasy. It's your fantasy. Run it your way. That's one of the universal truths.
I watch a lot of the guys that are in our Gen X area that talk about the old TSR games, and especially the Down the Rabbit Hole guy does a lot of Star Frontiers. And he's like, what did you, they were kind of trying something new, and this is a game where it's left up to the DM to create the galaxy. They're not going to give it to you. It's not going to be handed to you this time. D&D is what created video games, and everybody loved it, and then video games got amazing, and then everybody went back to D&D and went, why isn't it more like video games? No, we're the grandfather of video games. Don't you understand it? No, D&D should be more like video games, and that's what's happened from 4th edition on, where And
Having played both fourth and fifth extensively, I will say that, that's not entirely true. That's kind of the
Pathfinder.
trope. Well, that's kind of the trope is that, fourth edition started games feeling like video games, but I'd say third edition did, because third edition felt a lot like damn Diablo to me.
Oh yeah, or Fable,
And so,
or yeah,
so it goes back to,
or
they
Pagan.
paralleled each other. And I think, a lot of the edition wars noise is just that, it's noise. You know, fourth edition, what made fourth edition unpopular was two things.
Mm.
First, WotC had made third edition so bloated and so top heavy and so inaccessible that they shot themselves in the foot. They were releasing products that were competing with themselves, and they made the minutia so granular that you needed to have a certain level of mastery of the system in order to play in it. And that made D&D, it built a wall around D&D. You got the hardcore 3.5 nerds that all really understood this very intricate system, but it made it hard for other people to break in, because if you came in, people didn't want to have the patience to teach you all the things that you needed to learn. And so fourth edition went the other way. Fourth edition presented the game as more of almost like a board game. It was, in my opinion, the finest squad level tactical miniatures game ever written. For just combat alone, it was amazing. But the game was presented in terms of encounter to encounter to encounter, with maybe some role play in between.
Yes.
Although it didn't have to be played that way, that's how it was presented. And they also changed up a lot of the way it worked. And that alone didn't kill it. What killed it was, as soon as WotC came out with 4th edition D&D, they not only stopped supporting 3.5, they pulled all the products from the shelf, so you couldn't even get it anymore. And that, I think, is really what alienated people. And Paizo, the company that made Pathfinder, had been publishing Dragon Magazine for WotC at this point, and said, no, we're going to break off and make this.
I don't get me wrong, Pathfinder, Starfinder, I they're fine, and I enjoy the story, and I want to play some more Starfinder, and I actually bought one of the little core books, one of the little mini ones, and I was enjoying most of the games the way I want to play them, whether it's Star Wars or Star Frontiers or Starfinder. It's not. I'm looking for more of a traveler or Star. Go ahead.
You're looking for more of a role-playing thing. The problem with Starfinder is that it really wasn't ever intended to be a hard science fiction game. It's D&D. It's a D&D in the future. Yeah. So all the tropes of D&D are there, but it's the far future as well. And the game is presented and played as though it were D&D, where the adventures are like modules and everybody kind of has to be there.
Yeah.
And to me, outside of fantasy role play, class-based role-playing games don't work. So I played some Starfinder and I liked it, but to me, it was just a variation on D&D because it played like D&D, and I ran it like D&D.
I enjoyed it.
We had a great time.
I loved the game you ran,
If I'm looking for something hard science fiction, I'm going to want something that is not so much class-based as it is skills-based, which is, the way Champions is and the way Savage Worlds is. There are no character classes. You have 5 attributes, then you have edges that make you exceptional, and you have skills that dictate what you can do.
It's even the kind of the same in Shadowrun. There's no classes. Here's archetypes.
You can move towards it. You can move towards a build with certain things, but you're not limited to that build.
Here's a Street Sam. They're based on speed and dexterity. Here's a Decker. They're based on,
Yes,
they're hackers, basically, or splicers, as they would be called in Star Wars.
yes,
Or
slicers.
slicers, or in original. I don't own the video game. I know that I think I saw her playing it, but Cyberpunk 2077, are
I
the
have it
hackers still called Netrunners?
sometimes.
Because that was the
They're called
original
netrunners.
term.
They're called hackers. Yes. I will tell you, if you remember the original Cyberpunk, that Johnny Silverhand is a major character in the video game.
Isn't Keanu Reeves playing him?
Yes.
That is awesome. He's a main character in the original Cyberpunk
Yes. Well,
box set. I have it in the other room.
If you ever intend to play the game, I won't spoil anything for you. So
It's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, Johnny Silverhand is dead, but the big evil organization has a technology where they can basically imprint you and upload you to somebody else. And you, as the main character, accidentally get Johnny uploaded into your head. So now you're sharing your head with Johnny, who's slowly trying to take you over. And at the end, one of the options at the end is to basically let Johnny take over and you cease to exist. And you become Johnny Silverhand.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yes.
Well, I mean, that can happen in the game. There's
It was an amazing game. It would have been wonderful if it was multiplayer, but it's not. But it is still one of the best single-player role-playing games that I've ever played.
That's what
I have
people are
nothing
saying.
but huge praise for it. It's right up there with Red Dead. Red Dead Redemption 2 is a crazy, amazing game.
It's too
oh my
big,
God,
and I hate all the mods. But other than that, I absolutely enjoy playing that game. So.
I am not a mod person.
I'm talking about the other people.
Yes, that's why my Conan server doesn't have any mods.
I had a lot of fun,
and it never will.
Conan
I still run
huge,
that Conan server. If you want to play,
I do. It's your wife's.
I still run it.
I need to. It's all about cash. But I have to say that Conan, you can't really use magic users in the Conan. Paul became obsessed with that. That's all he wanted to talk about or do. Once
the sorcery came out for
once Coffee got it up and no. In the beginning, when you got the server up and running, Martian Cat and her whole, because that's. I'm on the server, dude. I got stuff to do. I'm doing this and you're just forgetting it, dude. Paul, God.
Yeah, I got him hardcore into it. But yeah, that's we named the server for my wife's Discord, the Red Planet Brigade, which is just like our little gaming group. I should at some point float you an invite, because we go hang out over there sometime, and you're more than welcome to come and hang out and shoot the shit with the other weirdos.
I love
because you fit right in. Oh, yes,
thank you. You fit right in with those other freaks. Yeah, probably. What are we talking about? Okay, yeah, it's kind of like this, right?
I host a number of different servers. I have the Conan server. I have an alternate Conan server for the second map that the game offers. Right. I have a server for a little game called V Rising, where you play a vampire trying to survive in the world.
I don't know much about that one. The only vampire games I had, and I still have the original disc from 1999. God, it's 26 years old. Is the Vampire Redemption. And I was talking about that. I got all of the White Wolf books that I could get. All of the Werewolf, all of the Wraith, all of the Changeling, all of the Mage, because the Coffee Brothers were playing, Don and Tom and Tim were playing Vampire and Mage and all these other games.
I never really got into the vampire stuff.
They're boring.
It's not really my thing.
It's a storytelling game. And
and I understand that.
Yeah.
My wife and I played in one for a while, and we had a lot of fun with it. God, we sucked as vampires.
How
often we said, take the fail.
Yeah.
because we couldn't get.
I'm
If you spend a blood point, you can
do
succeed
this.
with consequences. Like, no, we're
Uh,
going to take the fail because I fail a lot, so we're going to just take the fail.
I finally can. I got them all to play vampires, and it's after the third session. They're like, you guys aren't into this, and they're like, no. And they're like, why not? I was like, we can't do anything. There's too many rules. There's too many the prints and all the.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
God,
that's
you're right.
why I am, and you probably, being an improv performer yourself, probably picked up on this, that the way I run my games is very improvisational. I kind of have an idea of where it's going, but I just go with it. You know,
You kind of have to do that with
make
players.
make some things up on the fly, like the 2 minotaurs that you fought. All it said was there are 2 minotaurs in this room, and they attack you when the door opens up. It was like, well, let's make them a couple, and let's put a big pot in there, and let's give the one a big spoon to crack somebody on the head with. And
Are
let's
they
start
husband
throwing,
and wife? Are they brothers?
let's start throwing cutlery when we, yeah. It's like, what would a minotaur do if he couldn't get you? He'd throw shit at you. And so, just little things like that. You got to have fun, and you got to make sure everybody has fun. I thought you guys were going to shit diamonds when I popped those 2 wraiths out.
That's not fair. That was tipping the scales of everything. Had I not made those rolls, we were fucked.
Yes.
Wraiths
but
are
that was
serious.
where that encounter was. The wraiths were there to encourage you to not spend too much time in that damn maze.
Gotcha.
But they were
Don't
specifically.
Be oh. Death comes to us all. Don't be giving me secrets on without everybody else around.
Well, no, that's just my opinion. That I think the wraiths were there so that,
There's a lot of gold down there. I'm not done. And electrum.
Yes, there are other things too. There are magic items just lying around down there. I almost very nearly gave Nathan a lesson he wasn't going to forget by making that ring cursed when he just snatched it up like that.
That was reckless of him with a DM as a father.
Yes, because
I said it first.
But, that's why it's like before when he said, I'm going to pick it up, I'm like, well, you're not the only one that sees it. And so I gave everybody else the opportunity to, weigh in and prevent him from doing it.
Yeah.
And nobody did.
Well, the worst.
But yes, there are cursed items out there too. And the only way to find out really that the item is cursed is to get nailed by it.
Yeah. Or wait. The worst thing was the execution. I pick it up, I grab it, I put it on. Dude, we're a group. You got to talk about this. You're not playing a one-player game.
Yes. No, I'm gonna.
It's okay for the 11-year-old. You're 27, dude.
The last time I had a character do that there was a magic cloak, and one of the players is like, I grab it and put it on. And so I made it a cloak of strangling, and it choked him to death. And after that, everybody was hesitant about just grabbing up that,
Once bitten, twice shy. There's a song and everything.
But, it is what it is. The one thing I don't have any say over as a game master is how you guys divide up your loot. Really, I don't. And there will be plenty.
I'll go back to the early 90s. Like, Ray was like, I've done other Shadowrun groups without, not with you guys, and you're the only one that comes up with a group loot. Because we made like a group fund. Where
a lot of games I've been in, they've had 5 members in the party. We divide the treasure 6 ways, and the party gets 1 share of treasure. But that's, as a game master, I could give a shit. what you guys do with
Yeah,
your
the
treasure.
game. Yeah, as a game master, it's like, do it, don't do it. I have 3 contingency plans if you do it, 3 contingency plans if you don't do it, 3 contingency plans if you do something else.
I'll
Meanwhile, I
just
just
make
learned
something
about
up.
this. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I said, I'll just make something up.
That or meanwhile, I just learned about this new monster and I can't wait to use him. Hurry up and fuck up so I can.
I honestly thought that trap, the squishy walls trap, was going to kill somebody.
You were saying that yeah, it almost did.
The way it was written is as soon as somebody triggers it, the walls come together and like no, it did say it takes 1 round, so it's like all right, I'll give people initiative against the trap, and if you can beat it and get that door open, you can get out. It wouldn't have been initially fatal. It would have squeezed for 3 rounds and then retracted.
Ouch.
Yes, the other trap, the one you found that had already sprung,
Yeah.
it had failed. It never retracted afterwards.
Yeah.
When it was triggered.
Well, it was reckless for them to just run into that. Dude, wait, hold on.
Well, lesson had to be learned. You go rushing in, and sometimes what you rush into will just straight up kill you.
Yeah,
And so you got to learn that. Yeah, careful what you wish for. It's like the level drain of the race. I didn't want to tell people what the race were going to do, and I felt bad level draining, but it exists in the game, and you guys need to understand and be very scared of things like this when they come.
Yeah, race,
be very scared.
Ghosts. There's like 3 other things that like drain your level, drain your life force,
Ghosts.
Succubus.
Ghosts don't drain your levels or your life force. What a ghost does is it ages you 10 to 40 years.
Oh.
And so, yeah, you can die of old age. You can die of fright from a ghost. My daughter's cat is chewing on the back of my leg. He needs attention. Awesome. So allow me to lean over here and
grab
scratch him.
Put him on the, let's look at him.
He doesn't do laps.
Oh.
Yeah. I would pick him up, but he wouldn't want to be up here. You want to come up here, doofus?
Oh,
come on.
Doofus.
You want to come up here?
What kind of cat?
Don't tell me you're actually entertaining coming up on my lap.
Short hair, long hair?
He's a tuxedo.
Oh, then
but he only has 3 legs, though, so getting up can be difficult. Come here,
tiny tripod. Tuxedos are awesome. Oh, he's beautiful. What's his name?
His name is Panda Bear.
Panda Bear. He looks unimpressed. Okay.
He's purring up a storm, but I can tell that he wants down.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing him. Oh, get his under his chin. Whoop, there he goes.
Yes, he is a kitty cat that will give you his belly. Not all kitty cats will.
No, I have Mr. Steele, and he's the only one. He's in the other room right now.
My cat that's been gone 8 years now, Mr. Shere Khan, was he was a Norwegian forest cat, so it's kind of like a Maine Coon.
Okay.
Very fluffy, very large. He was the biggest scaredy cat ever. He was also my fluffy foot warmer. He would lay under the desk with his belly up and just let me put my feet on his belly and sit there. Yeah, he would love to just, Yeah.
Well, we've got a lot going on here at base camp. They're moving out in about 4 days. They get the keys to the new place. So I had to... I don't do enough physical... Every day is arms day here in life. Retire. There's no retirement. Death. Death is retirement. Well, until they send me back.
I'm never gonna get to retire.
I don't want to retire. I just want to... I want to restore cars and roll dice and makes... Ed has been making ceramics since after Vietnam. Have I showed you some of the things that... Okay. I broke this. But this is the Sherlock Holmes Gandalf pipe that Ed made for me. It's broken. So I was crying about it, and he says, "No problem. I'll let you make a new one." "Oh, I can't wait to come over to your place and make a new one." "Never mind, I made you a new one." So this one has a deeper bowl. I want to get him on the show before I smoke out of it, but I've shown it off twice now. And he's like, "I made you a dragon pipe."
Very nice.
I don't know how you're going to get the screen in there. Yeah, me neither. Still awesome. And I love my pencil holder because, well, I'm an ass man, so I'm absolutely obsessed with bubble butts. There we go. I have a lot of Ed's original artwork, and
very nice.
Yes. And I've got some videos, not only on the Supreme Council YouTube page, but also on mine and on Rumble, and because Ed's got a kiln and a whole. He's got one of those tough sheds in his backyard that he's set up as a studio.
Must be nice to be crafty like that. I am not crafty like that. I can tell stories. That's my gift.
Dude, that is a craft. You and I do that.
I had thought at one point, because there are people out there that, do game mastering for a living. But I'm afraid that if I started doing that, I would lose my enthusiasm for wanting to do it if it became a job.
There's only one quest right now, and that's to talk to the super mega science math nerds. Get them to invent a time machine, go back to the 80s, and then go to high-profile corporations and go, "This is the ultimate team-building thing. Dungeons and Dragons, kids." And then get all the corporations. "You don't need paintball. Get D&D. And then rent out a conference room at a hotel and roll for initiative.
That's one thing. Back to my little differences in editions. That's one thing 5th edition did, is it made it feel like the older versions of the game, and it really brought the hobby into the mainstream in a way that until then it really hadn't. The D&D was still kind of a niche hobby. A lot of streams out there, Twitch streams and otherwise, like Critical Role, and there are some others, also helped really. I've never watched an episode of Critical Role. It's really not my thing. Here I am. I stream D&D, and I say watching people stream D&D isn't my thing.
Don't say that, because I had to eat. No. Let me profess. Let me get on my. Hold on. Soapbox. I had to go to my children and apologize, because when they were small, when they were watching Markiplier and all the other guys, "Why are you watching guys play video games? Why don't you just play video games?" And then the older I got, the more I play. Oh, wait, I'm watching this video. I'm watching that video.
That's because these people, the people that get big doing it, can be entertaining while they're playing the video games.
Well, I had to go
also
back and
the
say.
People,
go ahead, sorry.
The people that become really successful at streaming, I have a friend, Nate, and he is a partnered streamer now, but he did it 6 days a week, hours a day, every day. If you want to monetize your streaming, you have to take it seriously, like it's a full-time job. And that's something that, I just wasn't. For me, it was a hobby. I made money doing it, but, I never got into it with the intention of, being big time. I just like to tell my stories, and if I can take a few people along for the ride, so be it.
I had the same conversation with Christine, and I said, doing YouTube and Rumble and this, Twitch and all that. And I'm like, I was treating it as a part-time job. It's not a part-time job. It's a full-time job. And of course she's you found that out, didn't you? Like,
And
yeah,
so if we're
it
gonna,
really, really is. And she's like, oh
we
yeah,
want to take Master Geeks Lodge to the next level, we need to, and I'll look into it.
yes,
And we need to have its own dedicated channel that we broadcast on.
instead of
We
mine.
also need to, well, you know, the thing is that we could, if Rob was broadcasting on it, we could use that Twitch multi feed and be broadcasting on yours and mine at the same time
Mm,
as the Master Geeks Lodge channel.
true.
But if we're going to do that, we also need to establish social media accounts for the Master Geeks Lodge to cross promote. Facebook, maybe X or Instagram or some of the others, you know.
Yeah.
Because these are things that I was doing at first when I was really, you know, pushing
Trying
myself
to
to
get
be
it
out
out
there.
there.
Another thing you're going to want to do is stream more nights of the week. And you know, be consistent in what you stream. All right, on Monday nights we have the Supreme Council. Monday nights is the Supreme Council stream.
Pretty much.
Maybe on
For over a year
Wednesday,
now.
maybe on Wednesday nights, members of the Master Geeks Lodge can get together and play a video game that we can all play and stream together. You know, whatever it is.
So far,
And
Ed
then,
and I have been playing Fallout 76. I mean, that obviously there's other games, but Rob and Ron don't really play video games as much. So it'll be you and I and Ed and whoever else wants to jump on. Well, we'll see.
But
No, I please keep going with the input.
and like I said, I'm going to work on an overlay that we can use because Discord by itself. The problem I was having with Discord is I did a screen capture for Discord, but whenever I tabbed out to go over to something else, it wouldn't show my Discord. It would show my desktop. And there's a picture on my desktop that while it is not safe for work, it is not a picture that I want to be sharing with other people. That picture is for me.
Gotcha.
And so I need to have a setup that's not going to do that, which is why I couldn't stream tonight, because I didn't want to take the 20 minutes or so that it was going to take me to figure out how to make it work.
Yeah.
So I think the way to do that is just drop Discord altogether as a part of the platform.
I don't want kids watching our show. It's a, 18 or older.
I tag mine as adults. It's adult content.
It's adult. I don't want.
Because I'm not going to watch.
Doing. But still.
Well, like I said,
language and content.
Casual tobacco and drug use and extreme language at times.
Adult situations. Yeah.
Adult situations, yes, it is.
Because we tell stories that are not appropriate for children.
Yes, no, this is not for children.
Let me show you how not appropriate. See this pipe? Very proud of this. Sorry. No, I'm way more proud. That's a joke. I'm way more proud of the handmade one that Ed made for me. By far.
But
no, you're right. We need to take it to the next level. It needs to be a serious thing. I mean, that was the argument with in the past. When do we start making money? Well, you tell me. I've been doing this for 3 years and I haven't seen anything yet. It's not just about checking all the boxes and then holding your hands out. Yeah, it's about being entertaining and coming up with interesting things and being,
I said, while I don't know that I would dedicate 2 Saturdays a month to the all-day game that we're doing, I would be willing to do an AM streamed game for a smaller group of people, like on a different Saturday. Because that requires doing it online, streamed is a lot less effort and a lot less commitment than, I get up at 5 o'clock on our game days. Did you know that? I get up at 5 o'clock, and I was going to ask you and Rob if, like last time, me and Nate and Chris, we got together and went out to breakfast before the game. if you guys would like to join us for an IHOP run
Yeah.
or a Denny's run or whatever.
Ed and I went to Jack in the Box before we went, because Ed and I usually go one day a week, and okay, I paid last week, you pay. One pays, one picks up the tip. That's normally how it happens.
Yeah. But,
Yeah, we definitely. Well, I mean, we have a
And
month
if we
to plan
streamed-
for it.
yes, if we streamed, like I said, I want to get back to streaming on my channel, and it's going to be an RPG. And I think some of the people from your group would make a good streaming RPG group. But I think the maximum number I would want would be like 6, but 4 is usually perfect. 4 or 5.
It's hard to pick 4 people out of all of us because everybody's awesome. But
Well, it's going to have to be people that aren't going to balk at setting up the technology required, because
yeah,
a mistake I made early on when I started streaming my role-playing games is that I didn't handpick people for the stream. I just started streaming with the people I was gaming with, and not all of them were suitable for gaming. I knew a guy who, he's not very mature despite being older than me, and he was prone to throwing temper tantrums, and
oh, nice.
He threw a couple of temper tantrums on my stream, at which point I was like, okay, now I've learned.
Which is good for ratings, but bad for the game.
It's bad for the game. And, I need to cherry pick people that, A, understand it's a stream, and B, get along with me. The last game I ran, the one I ran for, was actually running for Trollord games. I had to stop because I lost my days off. I was running it on Sundays, and I lost Sundays off. Oh. But the problem I had with it is all of the people that were playing in that game were picked for me by the Trollords people, and none of them were people I knew. And one of them ended up being problematic, very problematic. And, he was kind of a control freak, kind of a go against the grain, go against the narrative at every point. And he was also more than a bit misogynistic towards the one female player in the group, to the point where she basically shut her camera off during a stream because of the shit he was pulling. And I ended up having to kick him out of my game, not on stream, but next session we showed up, there was somebody new in the seat, he was gone. I hated to have to do that. I felt really bad, but
not everybody you want everybody to get along. Not everybody gets along. You want everybody to be included. Not everybody's going to work out.
For the stream game, it's, there's not everybody is going to. It seemed like Ed struggles with technology sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't think Ed would be really suitable to the streamed game because he would constantly have to be fighting his technology. And, that's not to say he's a bad person, but I've had people
I don't.
Not technologically inclined.
Ed and I are on the same end of the bell curve where, dude, our tech is old. Paul made our systems a decade ago. More than that.
Well, the tech doesn't need to be high tech, but you'll need to know how to set up Fantasy Grounds. You'll need to know how to set up the camera, and you'll need to know how to set up Discord and such, which isn't difficult, but some people just don't gravitate towards such things.
I think he's more than capable because he can vacillate back and forth between computer games and playing his.
So it's just a matter of getting over there to help him set it up.
Exactly. Which he lives. Ed lives less than 2 miles away from me.
But I honestly,
Ed, Ron, and Guy are less than 2 miles from me.
You're thinking about bringing, was it your niece in?
And niece, sister, and brother-in-law. If that's okay. I mean, Rob's already talking about other
Yeah, see,
parties.
I
Gonna
think
be
the
huge.
problem is that I think this game is, like I said, we're at 7 now.
Yeah.
I could take 3 more people, but at that point, one, it's going to be real crowded around the table, and two, there's just not going to be enough time for everybody to get. It's going to become unwieldy.
Mm.
So I'm almost at the point where I'm going to say the game is capped here. I was going to bring my buddy Jim in, but he flaked this time, and I might tell him, he's like, you flaked and you lost that seat.
Hey,
I don't know. We'll
can,
see.
We can make, depending on your schedule, we can always do something else, and we can include Jim in then, because it sounds like, and I want to bring Clay into this stuff because there's so many dudes that need to play D&D that haven't played it just because nobody's invited them. You know what I mean? And they're not dynamic enough to start their own group. I don't.
All right.
I don't mean
well,
to
here's a wild idea.
I don't want that to
for
sound
you.
like an egomaniac, but
Here's a wild idea for you. How many of them would be available for a Friday game? Because I might give up one Friday a month
okay.
to do this as well.
So
Fridays and Saturdays are my wife and I's days off, and usually, if we did it at Friday, it would have to be early in the day because I am involved. I play in streamed games on Friday evenings, and so those times are pretty much locked in.
okay.
But I would be okay with a once a month Friday game, maybe offset from the Saturday game by 2 weeks, so that I'm not running games 2 days in a row.
Back to back, yeah.
Because really, it is draining physically and mentally to spend all day, locked on a game. By the end of the day, I come home, I'm like, oh wow.
You were just sitting there. Well, I was stressed out for some of it, and freaked out for some of it, and really mad for a lot of it, and yeah.
But
how do you feel when you get your nails done? Well, this happens and that happens, and same thing over a longer period of time.
Yes.
Oh, I'm not opposed to that because we're too early for Will in Washington to join us. Scott, my neighbor, wanted to join us. I'm sure Jim wanted to join us. Clay probably wants to join us. There's the problem with Dungeons and Dragons isn't the people, it's the time.
Yeah, and like I said, I think I'm about ready to say this game, one more person, whoever it is, 8 is where I'm going to cap it.
Okay.
And then, like I said, we can maybe start. I don't know what people's work schedules are, but I have Fridays off, and we could maybe arrange a game on Friday, maybe even get some of the people that are in the Saturday game to move over to that game. Explain to everybody is like, look, we have 40 people that want to play D&D, and I can only take 20 at a game at a time. And so we're going to have to divide this up if everybody wants to get to play, or we can jam 15 people around a game and not get a lot done because there are too many there at the table.
If everybody's focused, it goes quick. If everybody's chatty and distracted, we're not going to get anything.
That's D&D. Is everybody is chatty and distracted. It's not Warhammer where everybody's dialed in.
Where everybody's about to die, so they're like, "What's next?" Can I roll?
Yeah. Yes.
Warhammer's that's a whole different animal.
Yeah, it's something I never really got into. I wanted to, but it looked too expensive.
Clay has played Warhammer, and working with
Games Workshop?
No. My friend at work. Sorry, we're like an hour and 2 hours past my bedtime. I didn't take it. Carson, who I'd love to have him on the show, and I've actually taken him out to the ranch. He explained Warhammer 40K in big detail because I knew a little bit about the. It's not 40K. It's the D&D version of Warhammer.
Oh yeah, Warhammer roleplay.
Roleplay,
Yeah,
'cause-
I've never played it, but I hear there's some people I know that swear by it.
Well, the books came out in the 90s, like 90,
Yeah,
91.
Warhammer roleplay has been around a long time.
So Korn and all the other. We started reading about the gods, and it's like there's no like good people in this thing. It's all evil guys fighting evil guys, which was
Yeah, I think
you know
the whole point of the Warhammer universe is just not a nice place.
it's not.
But as I said, it was something that I wanted to get into, and I never really did. So I stuck to my D&D.
That is true. D&D, the D&D is great if they keep making planets because that'll fit into Spelljammer. You should have Greyhawk and Toriel and Kryn and Dark Sun.
All of that is part of what killed second edition D&D. Is they had like 11 different campaign worlds that they were publishing stuff for, and they were competing with themselves so much that and there was a lot out there. You have Ravenloft, Planescape, Dark Sun, Spelljammer, Hollow World, Kryn, Mystara,
Aragon.
They had this one called Council of Worms. It was a campaign that they published where you played a dragon.
Mm.
I never got to play in it, and I never found a copy of it. But, second edition and third edition, doubled down. They got bloaty too. And fourth edition, not so much. Fifth edition, it started again. The problem with role-playing games is that profits on them plateau if you don't come out with a new version.
Yeah.
Once everybody has the book, sales stop.
Yeah.
Or slow down. That way, you have to. And D&D did it smart this time. The new version they came out with, they didn't say, "Well, the old version is not incompatible." They just tuned it up a little bit, so it's still the same game as the previous version.
Yeah. Well, going back to the White Wolf thing where I had to make... I finally got them to play Werewolf, but I had to make it a hack and slash against vampires. And it's the same thing with the additions. If you're not making it palatable to not just the new players, but the old players, you don't really have an audience anymore.
To me, Vampire and all of that was the Drama Kids role-playing game. People that wanted to dress up and cosplay as vampires and have a little bit of codification behind it to do that.
Your Drama
When
Kids.
I ran my coffee shop, we had a group that came in on Friday nights and played live-action vampire, LARP vampire in our basement.
I'm using Obfuscate.
Yes. And rather than use dice, the game master had come up with an elaborate rock, paper, scissors. It's like, all right, you're more powerful than him, so it's 3-2. He has to beat you twice. He has to beat you 3 times. You only have to beat him twice, kind of. And so that's how they did it in LARP. But Vampire is very much more role play, heavy on the role play, and not so much on the game,
combat,
on the game. So,
which sucks because they spend all this time creating this fantastic fabric of rich history with Wraith and Mage and Vampire and Changeling and Werewolf and Hunter and
you could play it more violent, but really it's not meant to do that. It's a very narrative / roleplay style.
Yeah.
As composed, D&D came from a wargaming background. And, then there's a lot of these new, what I call conceptual role-playing games like Fate, where your character is basically write down some vaguely worded aspects that describe your character. And as you're playing, you'll add these to build up And you want to do something, convince the game master that one of your vaguely worded aspects applies.
Yeah.
Numenera and that whole system is another one similar where, it's, I don't know.
More of the player driven. That's
more of the player
fine,
narrative driven
but-
and not gaming. That's what I like about, what we're playing now is geared towards the old school, the dungeon crawl, which is, I figured that was a good way to start you guys, is just put you in a dungeon and let you deal with a hostile environment that you have to deal with.
The dungeon crawl is the original. The dungeon crawl to fantasy games and movies and shows and books is patrolling for a superhero in comic book world. It's the meat and potatoes of the actual story. Yeah, you spend some time in the tavern. Yeah, you talk to the mayor or the public official to get the job. Yeah, you're looking for the stolen whatever.
Now let's go out to the dungeon and get in there.
Yeah, let's go down.
That was the way it was originally.
Pretty much.
One thing I've learned is, there are some people that are like, I want to play in a sandbox role-playing game where there are no limits. I've tried to run sandbox role-playing games. You know what happens? You get 4 different characters that all want to do what they want to do, and none of them want to do what anybody else wants to do. So nothing gets done because they just sit and discuss it.
They created a sandbox game. It's called Star Frontiers, where it's not Boot Hill, it's not Gamma World. Go ahead.
As a game master, I am firmly in the role play. Here's in the not the role play, but the railroading. Although I present it, whereas a railroad is you're all getting on this train and this train is going here.
Yeah.
I have the train station, whereas you could get on this train that goes here, or this train that goes here, or this train that goes here, but they're all going to end up in the same place. It's just the ride that gets you there is going to be slightly different.
That's the
but it's
difference.
All going to the same place.
The difference between a malleable, with the flow DM and a DM who, if you're not following the narrative, he fucking has a meltdown and loses his mind.
No, I don't want you to necessarily follow the narrative, but don't fight the narrative. Don't say, all right, I see what the game master is trying to do, and I'm going to try to undo it.
Yeah.
It's because I have done this to people before. I used to run D&D encounters for the local hobby store here, and encounters was a 2-hour session every Wednesday night to kind of introduce people to the product.
2 hours.
So there isn't a lot of time for role play and nonsense. You just get straight down to the, let's have a couple of encounters.
Can't do anything
it was a showcase. Well, it was a showcase. Well, you could, but you had to have everybody on the same page. So I had one guy who was like, all right, now you guys are all going here. And this guy's, well, I don't want to go there. I want to go do this. He's like, okay, fine.
Damn it, Johnny.
It's like, the rest of you are all going to do this. He's like, well, what about me?
But
like,
Philip is doing it.
You're off doing that. We're not discussing that is not what is happening at the table tonight. So you go ahead and go home if you like, or you could join what everybody else is doing, because I'm not playing let's make it about, see how long I can make it about me. We had a guy in one of the games that I was playing, and in fact, he was in several different games with different game masters, who his shtick was, if he could, he would get the game master to let him separate off so that, and we were playing over a voiceover like Discord, he'd get the game master to separate him off so that he could pull the game master into a separate room, have the game master all to himself. And I saw him do this in several different games, until I told one of the game masters, this is what he's doing, and it's not fair to anybody else. Every time you drag him down into another room for an hour out of every game session, because he does it in every game he plays in. Well, that game master put a stop to that, and the guy dropped out 2 sessions later because he realized that he was playing in a game that I was running. And the first time he tried to do that in my game, well, I'm going to sneak out, I'm going to go do this. And I told him basically, because it was a stream game, I was like, no, we're not really doing that. It's
Yeah.
a party thing, so we do things as a party. At that point, he didn't drop out of the game, but he started to sabotage it to the point where, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it almost it
You
came
gotta
down to
go.
he did something in one session that if we had been together at a table, somebody else would have punched him. It would have come to physical blows what he did. And and so I had to say, you know what, I can't. You
Gotta
can't at
go.
my table anymore. You've got to go because you fought the narrative,
I hate
Color
kicking.
outside the lines.
Yeah.
Do something I wasn't expecting. Get crazy, get nutty. It's your fantasy. Let's make it fantastic. But
Because it's, for one, you have to keep it in context. So,
it would.
well, hold on. Were you playing Paranoia? Probably not. Because in Paranoia, you want to pull the DM to the side, or you want to pull other players to the side and give them notes and things like that.
Yeah, paranoia is
It's
plays
its
into that.
own game. But when you're playing
And-
D&D and you're pulling that kind of bullshit, you're not going to last.
Yeah, the edge lord that my character is going to do his own thing. No, I don't have time for that. And I'm going to do this dick thing because it's what my character would do.
Yeah.
Okay, so you built a dick on purpose so that you could be a dick and say it's what your character would do.
Yeah.
No.
You're
What are we, fucking 12?
Yeah.
No.
You're not playing.
I don't have time for this anymore.
You're not playing the subtle thief acrobat from the
My
late
wife
80s.
is over here laughing at me.
I'm sure she is. You guys are dorks. Yes, pretty much. So you're not playing the subtle thief acrobat from the late 1980s. You're being a straight up, like you said, edgelord. Oops. Excuse me. Absolute asshole who doesn't care about the rest of the party. Even the thief is going to pretend he's a fighter and uphold protecting and supporting the party. Yeah, he's going to take 20% off the top because, well, for the most part, he's the one diffusing the traps, sticking his neck out there, possibility of getting poisoned or trapped or stabbed.
He's taking the higher risk.
So he's allowed to take the top off, where literally that guy is just... Who the hell do you think you are, Duke Nukem? What is this?
But no, there are different kinds of problem players, and I have house rules that cover most of it. Like I said, I had discussed that with you, but fighting the narrative would have been like in the first session. You guys are standing around with the soldiers that are telling you need to go out into the desert. Well, I'm going to fight the soldiers instead. Okay, the whole party is dead. Let's make new characters. Do you want to continue?
I was talking to Ed on the way to the game, and hopefully what I was saying is true because I was, paraphrasing and stuff, but hopefully we've kind of kept you on your toes because we've handled various situations drastically differently from the beginning of the campaign to ending up to the dervishes inside the... We were all ready to fight the sand people, but there was no way I was going to fight the dervishes. That's counterproductive.
It's only a matter of time before one of you does something to tick these guys off, and then the switch is gonna flip, and then they're gonna become. You're just lucky that I said part of their whole shtick is preserving the faith of different cultures, and so following a paladin around is perfect for them.
It fits into their narrative completely. Well, squeech. The best part of it is that the party is so diverse, and we have so many varying ages that problems, like nobody reacts to the same thing all across the board. We always discuss it. Like that joke I thought we were an autonomous collective. We don't really have a leader per se. We just kind of all check with each other and go, like a committee. Okay, we're going to do this.
You guys were smart enough to investigate the room with the levers rather than just throw a lever.
Oh, I want to throw all those levers so bad. Yes.
And yes, those levers were just there to fuck with people. They didn't serve any good purpose.
Oh, don't tell me that now. I want to go back and flip. Okay, at least now I know. Thank you.
Well, also,
That's
this
PKO.
dungeon is designed to keep moving forward. The chances are you're not going back to what you've already gone through.
The bags
So
of gold just lying around really fuck with me. So there you go. Why is this gold here?
You guys have gotten a lot of it. There was one you guys were going to go that there was like a really good treasure, and you guys ended up going in a different direction. And
Oh, no.
But there's more. But you guys are in the upper level of this, and if you can get to the end of it, it leads into the whole next adventure, because there are 3 books of this adventure, and you guys are in the final part of the first one.
The Oasis, the Pharaoh's Curse, and it's been so long. I'm probably way off.
I think it's Pharaoh, Oasis, and something else.
See how off I am? I remember seeing them. We never went through them. And then later they came up with Al Qadim for the Forgotten Realms. The Forgotten Realms, the Oriental Adventures, they tried to incorporate all cultures into Dungeons and Dragons, which is, she's an old girl. Oh, you bit my arm when I picked you up. Thanks. Squidgy is 17, and she has a massive growth in her guts here, and then pancreas issues.
Yeah, both of my boys passed away at around.
No.
I think Khan made it to 18. Flag had failure at 17, but they were, both rescues, both lived long, good lives as indoor cats.
Beth told me, do not bring this kitten home. There's something wrong with her. Squidgy bit my arm as I picked her up there. Thanks, Squidge. I'm going to get... Here, Windex and vinegar will help that. There we go. That's a manly way to take care of that, according to the old man. Or what is it, Paul's dad? Iodine. Put iodine on it. It'll be fine. Yeah.
Iodine, or what was the stuff my grandparents used? Methylate.
Oh, methylate. That burned.
Oh, yeah, it did. So we wouldn't tell Grandma we had a cut or a scrape, because if we did, we knew what was coming.
Methylate. Or put some mercurochrome on that. That's like hydrogen peroxide. That doesn't do anything. I'll put some methylate on it. No, I'm good. Thank you. I'll put some lava on there. Oh, yeah, that'll be great. Thanks.
Yeah, my granddad used lava soap. He was a diesel mechanic.
Oh, yeah, lava soap's awesome. No, I meant methylate lava into the wound. Just poison me. I'm going to get some weird cat enzyme, and I'll have to have my arm amputated. Well, good thing I'm left-handed. Awesome. Cats. I love cats. I didn't know I was a cat person until 2005, until my sister brought us Gwen.
I'm still a dog person over a cat person, but dogs need to romp. And that means that you're going to have to take a dog out every morning and again every evening. And, and once when you get home, so they can go romp, because if you don't let them out to romp, they will romp your house. They will.
Squidge.
And so I don't have the time or the space to keep a dog. Otherwise, I would have a dog.
I never had an interest in cats, and I never wanted a dog. And for a while, I had iguanas, birds, fish, and that was fine. And then I had fish, and Beth was like, "You're a cat person," my sister. I'm like, what? I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I've spent 2 years looking for the ultimate cat, and I found her. Her? What are you talking about? What's going on? You're getting a cat. No cats. I've got fish. That's work enough for me. Hold on, I'm like knocking my whole area over. And she's like, no, the best aunt on the planet gets her niece's cats. We're going to get cats. I'm going to get cats. No cats. Besides, Christine's not going to go. I already talked about Christine. It's been cleared. She wants a cat, too. What are you talking about? You want...
Sabotage.
It was. You want a female orange tabby. How did you know that? Because that's the kind of cat person you are. Now, normally, female orange tabbies are royal bitches, but Beth brought this
Orange
cat.
cats are crazy.
Well, the males are usually cuddly and goofballs, dorks. Not that smart, but a lot of fun and lovable. But the females are usually cunts, not to be super rude. So Beth brought this cat over, and oh man, she was super awesome, super friendly, super outgoing, loved everybody, super cuddly. I think it was 2017 when she got feline leukemia. You know,
That was about when Con passed.
and she had, you know, Christine and I had already split up, and we weren't talking. So Gwen being put down kind of brought everybody back to life, and then shortly after that, Hannah shows up to my house one day, and I'm working from home, and, you know, okay, I'm doing this, and what are you doing? You know, cool. I'm glad you came. What's going on? And she starts giving me small talk, and through the small talk, I realize you're holding a bag. This bag is half mesh. There's 2 sets of yellow eyes looking at me, small yellow eyes. What's going on? What's this all about? So she comes in, and she says, you've been very sad since Gwen passed away. So a friend of mine that I knew from high school or whatever, or from work, I can't remember, one of her cats accidentally got pregnant, and she had a bunch of kittens. So I have there's a bonded brother and sister pair, and every time I went over there, even though there were 8 in the litter, these 2 were all by themselves playing, having a great time doing their own thing. So she brought them over here, and that's Sapphire and Steel, which are... Though last night I was ready to kill Sappy because she kept waking me up, and I had a migraine all day, and today was... I got a lot done, but it was a challenging day because I wanted to go out to the ranch and do a bunch of stuff and then spend... but that didn't happen. Still, though, laundry, dishes, and reorganizing, and I've kind of like staging because they're moving out and Clay's moving in. So, and I've known Clay since 1993, and then he worked at the costume rental shop with us, and then he did the Nest with me in 2011 at the Rawhide. It was his first year doing haunted house work, and he loved it. Most people do. But he's like Warhammer, old school D&D, so...
Oh, he would really like Castles and Crusades. Then.
I'm sure he would.
I'm glad you guys have caught on to this, because my buddy who works for Troll Lord Games has been bugging me for years to, try my game, get some people together. And while they do an organized play thing, and, I've already talked to him and said, we've done 2 6-hour sessions towards, earning some swag, because he's basically... Yeah, okay. There's swag for the. Like I said, I'm going to try to get us some things. Maybe for Christmas, we'll see what my budget looks like. Maybe I'll get some T-shirts for people, because my buddy Chuck has already told me he can get me a break on some stuff if I buy it in bulk.
I mean, just having them as a sponsor would be nice, even if like I told Lauren, it's like I'd like Body and Soul to sponsor us. How much is that going to cost me? Well, nothing. You're just our sponsor. Oh, okay, then yes. You make amazing candles. I want the world to know. If I won the lottery, everybody would be getting your candles. Because they're
Honestly, I still
amazing.
have their stream key. I
Really?
could stream on their channel, but they would probably not be happy with me if I did, because
I think
it would
that
be
we should-
something unscheduled.
Well, I mean, if Rob gets all of that set up, we've got your mic, my mic, several laptops. I got to get another laptop. We've got to make a guild Twitch channel. We really should be. I know. I'm human. I can only do so much.
All right. Well, I got tomorrow off. I will look into setting up our Master Geeks Council channel. I'll have to create an email for it because each one has to have its own email tied in.
I need to get a lot of personal stuff done tomorrow that anyway, you can't save everyone. You can't save everything. But yeah, we've got to get all that set up. You're right. Pretty much about all that you said tonight. Unfortunately, Rob the blacksmith did not make it
Didn't
back.
make it back. Oh yeah,
Dude, he's up at like 3/4. Yeah, we've been streaming for 3 hours and 10 minutes.
Yes, I've been up since 4. I get up at 4 every day. Fortunately, my job can sometimes be mentally taxing, but usually it's not.
Yeah.
Occasionally it can be physically taxing, but usually it's not. So yeah, there will occasionally be the Monday where I just had a day at work and just don't have the bandwidth to do the night stream. Also, I will warn you that next week by Monday night, every other week, Monday night game starts back up, and so I'll only be joining the stream every other week. However,
you can.
well, let's see, it'll be running 5:30 to 8 during daylight stupid time. So yeah, I could maybe join for the first 15 minutes of the stream, if that, but yeah, I'll only be able to join every other session.
Not a problem. We set this up that there were many, many council members because not everybody can make it on every night.
Well, cool. All right. Shall we say, do our sign offs for the evening?
Do you have any other plugs?
Right now, no.
What about
I have
Coffee's the All Chick Gaming League? Yeah.
No, it's not All Chick. The Red Planet Brigade is.
Gaming. Okay, Red Planet Brigade.
No, she manages the Real Women of Gaming.
That's the one.
But that is not her group. Our group is the Red Planet. But yeah.
Hold on. Rog.
She does Discord admin for that group.
Oh.
But she herself, Martian Cat, streams on Friday nights, usually with her streaming partner, Bitch and Cupcake. Yes,
awesome
that's her name.
That's awesome.
Bitch and Cupcake.
Bitch and Cupcake.
They usually stream horror-based story games or sometimes Dead by Daylight.
What about the Silence? And I've got a couple of them. I love horror games. I love all games. I don't.
Dead by Daylight is the one they play a lot, where you've got 4 players trying to escape while the 5th player is a serial killer trying to kill them.
Oh, nice. That sounds like fun.
It'd be quite intense. But yes, I'm going to work on an overlay. I'm also going to work on a bot for the channel so that we can do things like shout outs and other little blurbs that pop up in the chat. Because I got skills. But right now, I think I have been waiting way too long to go visit the room down the hall.
Yeah.
So this would be a good time to say good night, folks.
Good night. Like and subscribe.
Happy Metal Day tomorrow. Like and subscribe.
Horns up.
And come see us again.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you, sir. And all that he said and more. Have a good one.
All right.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one. Thanks.